Yo, what up? It's Kid Cash, and you're listening to WNS Podcast.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source Podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Hebert, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Hebert.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 173 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Find us on Beyond Pod, Stitcher, and Player.fm by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
The main site is on Twitter at WN Source. We are at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. And we actually recently added a new one for all of the...
We or they we?
I added one for WNS. WNS_Indy. INDY.
Is that you?
It is.
You misspelled it.
Huh?
You misspelled it.
Misspelled what?
Indy.
Indy? Oh, well.
INDY is like short for Indianapolis or like IndyCar driver.
Yeah.
Indy for independent is INDIE.
Okay. Oh, well. They can deal with it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll blow up your spot.
Okay. Yeah, well, Ben spelled independent instead of independent. A-N-T, not E-N-T. So there's just all kind of misspellings going on around here. But, you know, welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about.
You know.
I'm not going to, you know, go back on you with that, I guess. Happy birthday, Doug! Yay!
What do you mean go back on me?
Huh?
What do you mean go back on me?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm confused.
It's your birthday. Birthday boy.
I was just pointing out. Would you not? Would you rather not know?
I don't know. I'm fine either way, knowing or not knowing. It is what it is. But thank you for at least letting me know. So, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Having a good birthday?
Solid.
Yeah. Probably had to work, which kind of sucks.
I was say, yeah, middle of a work week. So
yeah. That's never fun. But you did get to go to a restaurant that you enjoyed for podcast family dinner. You got some cupcakes as well, or a cupcake, I should say.
Yep, it was good.
Yeah,
good cupcake. Thank you for the cupcake.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks for the company at dinner.
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So welcome to the show, Tyler. How you doing?
All right.
Hanging out over there.
Yeah.
How was your cupcake?
I didn't have one because I didn't want one.
Sure, you didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I was too full, and I'm still content right now.
Yeah.
I do not want
for now.
Yeah. I'm done for eating for the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see about that.
Okay.
So welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive into some of your feedback, talk about Raw, give you our predictions for Extreme Rules. Got some hot topics, Total Divas, Legends House Q&A. That's a lot to talk about. So I guess we'll kick things off. Going on into our feedback. First one's coming to us from Steven from YouTube saying, hey guys, shouting out from Dallas. Love the show. This is the second podcast of yours I've started listening to as of this week. I'm excited with the return of Evolution, and Evolution versus Shield will be awesome. So thank you very much for listening. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really cool to know fellow Texans listening in.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
So that's one of the odd things about our show. It's like we reach such a wide span of people all over the world that, you know, we hardly hear from the local people.
Well, the local people that we know, or like
they don't listen.
Yeah. I mean, no, we do. I mean, you shout out to Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan listens.
Brian listens. What's up, Brian?
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's cool that, you know, someone from Dallas, though.
Mm-hmm. And if you happen to be listening from Texas, what's up? Hope you're enjoying the show. And thank you for commenting. Next one's coming to us from Stings Like Ali, saying, hey guys, I'm going to a WWE event on the 4th of July, 2014, when WWE comes to Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm so pumped.
Cool, man.
Yeah, let us know how that is. All the
let us know your experience.
Live events are always really fun to go to, so So definitely enjoy that.
Have fun, Ollie.
Next one's coming to us from Johannes, saying, I've been away for a while, but now I am back. After a chat with Seth, I can finally understand the real meaning of wrestling again. My passion for the WWE is back. Hashtag, the future is Kali.
Hey, man. All right. They're on the same page.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah? You happy about that?
I guess. Hey, did y'all get an invitation from Seth Rickson to join the Heath Slater,
Yes.
WWE Heath Slater?
And I
page?
instantly declined it. Did you say bitch?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
Okay, if you want me to say bitch.
I thought you said, did you get an invite to like Heath Slater's page, bitch?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you get a similar invite, Doug? Yeah?
Of course I did.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts about Johannes saying the future is Kali?
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, y'all have fun hashtagging with Kali. Y'all enjoy that. Next bit is coming to us from Christine saying, I will keep this short. Awesome show as always, guys. I look forward to the answer of my question, Doug. I'm not much of a debater, and I hope I got my point across. I don't see them as heels or faces. I just see them as wrestlers. Either I like them or I don't. Hashtag great dick. Hashtag put the banana where?
Wow.
That was a great dick.
Tyler's got that great dick.
I'm a B plus penis.
I want to get that checked out.
If you got a pus penis, then
I got a B plus penis.
it's a whole different set of problems. I kind of don't feel like don't feel like very ranty today. So I mean,
No?
just like maybe we'll come. Christine will table it for one more week. Well, I promise.
It's
I
his
won't
birthday.
Forget. I won't forget. I just don't like. I don't feel like I'm on the level to give you like this long-winded response, and it is a very long-winded response.
Okay.
But I will. I just don't. Today it doesn't feel like the day I don't feel like I can articulate myself today.
All right. Today's a happy day for Doug. It's his birthday.
Well, I'm not. No, I'm not. It wouldn't be like I'm mad or anything. It's just like I feel like I have a lot to say about it, and I don't feel like today is the day that I could cover the points that I would feel like I would want to.
Okay. So next week for sure?
For sure.
For sure.
Why not? Even if I feel like shit next week, then I'll say it anyway.
All right. All right.
It won't be worth the wait or the time, so don't expect it to be awesome or anything. Today didn't feel like the day.
Okay. Final bit of feedback we have is from our good buddy John David Guerra saying, "Don't worry, Tyler, we are friends."
Yay.
Yay! Tyler has a friend.
His fingers are crossed.
Tyler has a friend. Tyler has a friend. So,
how many people watch that clip?
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, we do have some feedback that also pertains, and a little bit later on in the show because it rolls into a question as well. So if you didn't hear it right away, we might have it at the Q&A. And I did respond to a few of the listeners over the course of the week on our Stitcher page and YouTube as well. So trying to cut back a little bit of the feedback so we can sort of dive right into Raw.
Maybe it was just that 1 week where we had like excessive amount.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily like. I sort of like that we have a buffer before we go into Raw, but I just don't feel like it needs to be like 30 minutes, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this week we have a lot of questions. So
That's cool. Like I don't want to cut anybody out. I'm just saying.
yeah. So good stuff. But we do dive on into the go home show for
Sorry,
Raw.
Christine. Next week for sure.
For sure. The go home show before Extreme Rules taking place this Sunday. It was an odd show, I would think. But we kicked things off with John Cena coming to the ring, being inside the steel cage, basically questioning why. Why did he deserve the, overwhelming results of the poll from the previous week where he faced all three of the members of the Wyatt family? He didn't understand why they would do that, why the fans would turn on him like that. And the good portion of the fans chanted, "You suck," but he seemed kind of betrayed almost.
Not those kids. They will not betray him. Well, those kids, but not not those. Okay, there's two different kids.
There's
the ones
two
with
kids?
the masks and the ones that are not with the masks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
But Cena's cut off, and children start singing. He's got the whole world in his hands, and then Bray Wyatt comes down, and there's just this huge choir, a bunch of kids all singing, all wearing the black robes or whatever. They're all singing. He's got
cult.
the whole world. Yeah, pretty much. He's got the little cult following, and they surround the cage while singing, and Wyatt's laughing away, singing, we got the C Nation in his hands, and Cena seeming very distraught by that. He got to the children.
Well, I guess that's good, because it's known that, not his fans, most of his fans, but there's people that, like older people that like him, but, a lot of the kids,
A good majority is the younger generation.
But I don't know where they got these kids.
It was yeah.
I know. I was checking.
They found them. Found them lost in the woods. So, Doug, what do you think about this opening segment?
I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed Cena's mic work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a cool visual. I don't know. Like originally I thought it was like Ace. I guess there was one kid who seemed to be like the loudest, and I originally thought it was just one person. So I was like, I wonder, is this good? My initial thought was, is this the Sister Abigail? They're gonna like bring a girl out to be Sister Abigail,
right?
Because I could only like hear one distinct voice, and that's all I picked up on. It wasn't until they turned the lights on that I realized it was actually a crowd of children.
Yeah. Well, I think when Cena first came out, I did notice that they had like a little microphone just to the side of the entrance ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they have the stage and the ramp going down, and right there to the side there was a microphone, which they could have used, and then they probably grabbed it and took it with them, so that you could hear the kids singing. But yeah,
sure, yeah, but it was a great visual. I like Cena's mic work. It was real creepy just having kids on his lap, and they were holding the kids' hands like as they were walking down and stuff. And it was
these kids are gonna kill you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought it was creative and like a pretty cool thing. I mean, how do you guys feel about? I guess a lot of times we have these gimmick pay-per-views where we're gonna have a card of matches that have a bunch of gimmicks on it, or we have these every year, or every time this year. Can't speak. Sorry. About this time every year, we have like this pay-per-view where we know we're getting these types of matches,
right.
And feels like they tried to sort of give a metaphor for the angle, where a metaphor for the match, where they felt like, the reason they're fighting in the cage, Cena explained it as he's trying to contain Wyatt's. Did you think that was like too on the nose, or are you happy with that? Do you think it works, or? I at least appreciate the effort to like give meaning to the match.
Yeah.
It does feel like it could be a little too on the nose, like a little too.
It was a little too hokey. It's like, okay, if he gets out of the cage, then he's free to do whatever he wants. Is that what they're trying to say? It's like, I have to keep him from escaping the cage. Like, he can never leave this cage ever again. Otherwise, his message will get out.
Well, it's more metaphor, but
yeah.
I just feel like if Bray stays in the cage, Cena escapes, he wins. Therefore, he's like quarantining, Wyatt in a sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least I think I appreciated the effort to give some context and some meaning to why they're actually having a cage match, because they're only like two matches in their feud at this point, and I don't know. It feels early for a cage match. Even the most heated like blood feud, it feels like the second match in is a little too early for like a cage match.
Right.
But at least I guess they're trying. But all in all, I thought it was cool. Good mic work and a cool visual. So
I think just one of the bad things is like, they're doing so many pay-per-view events throughout the year that a lot of the feuds lose their value, their meaning, because it's like, oh, well, we've got the hokey pay-per-view theme coming up, so they have to have this kind of matchup. And I don't know, I don't really like it. I think now that they're doing like these special events or pay-per-views on the network, I feel like they could maybe cut out maybe 2 or 3 of them per year, because they're not going to be getting as much money with the news about DirecTV and all of them dropping it. So make them more important, space them out a little bit. But
it bothers me less that we don't. It doesn't seem like we have a card full of them.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like we just have the cage match. Are there any other stipulations?
Oh, there's a Extreme Rules match. There's the Triple Threat match.
Well, Triple Threat is just 3 participants. It's not necessarily like.
But it's no disqualification.
Is it officially no DQ?
Well, that's just how the Triple Threat matches work nowadays. They can get away with whatever they want.
Well, I mean, that's different in practice than in theory. I mean, like they either say that it's no DQ or it's not. I mean, having an extra participant doesn't necessarily mean it's no DQ. I mean, they could allow it to be that way. I'm just saying. I'm saying if that was stated, I missed them saying that.
I mean, it wasn't stated, but they've sort of taken the liberty in recent years that if there's a Triple Threat match, then it's whatever goes. I mean, take the WrestleMania match between Batista and Orton, throwing Bryan through the table and stuff like that. It's sort of just we can't disqualify one guy because then we'll have 2 winners, or I don't know. But
well, they always sort of use the table in a gray area as if it's like part of the playing field. It's almost like it's almost as if they accept it as it's fair game because it's part of the field. Like it's not like he picked up the table and
it's kind of like the steel steps. You can throw him into the steps, but if you pick up the steps and hit him with it, that's a disqualification.
Which really doesn't make any sense, but it seems to be the way they justify it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I think they could do fine just like renaming the pay-per-view. I don't know.
Gimmick. The latest WWE pay-per-view.
I don't know, it feels so passe to like complain about this. I feel like we do it about every 3 months when we have another one.
Every time we get Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, maybe?
Elimination Chamber,
TLC.
I'm pretty accepting of Money in the Bank, though.
Yeah. At least, Money in the Bank has a more important meaning.
I view Money in the Bank on a similar status as like the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, it's a gimmick match, but it's like sort of a way to progress a guy.
Yeah. So, but anywho, back over to Raw. Just a creepy opening. A lot of fans.
What did you think? Did you like it?
I liked it. I was watching. I was like, man, they're definitely trying to portray the creepy villain.
Mm-hmm.
With the
I liked it because he had the kids. That sounds weird, but
well, I mean, it's a nice touch because a child singing can be really beautiful or insanely creepy.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation. So to have all those kids and wearing the sheep mask and having the black robe definitely added to the creepy factor.
The kid that was sitting on his lap is his son.
I mean, it could be. You never know. I don't know how old his son is. But yeah, really, it was good stuff. It was a good way to open the show. And that takes us into the first matchup, tag team championship match. The Usos going up against Ryback. I thought this was a good opening matchup. They told the story with who was it, Jimmy, who was selling the leg injury.
I thought it was a legit injury.
At first, I did too.
He looked once he like got back into the match. He looked very tentative, like very tender, like he didn't want to put any weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard people complaining about us selling, but I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with the selling.
I mean, it may very well, he may have just tweaked it or something. There hadn't been any official reports coming out saying that he had in fact injured himself. But if that was if it was all storyline, then he did a really good job of selling it. But the Usos end up getting the victory. It kind of seemed like Ryback might pick up the victory here.
I thought they were stalling and trying. I thought the match came off weird. It felt like I thought he legitimately injured himself, and they were trying to work out a finish like on the fly, and that's how it felt, like oddly paced and oddly structured.
Yeah,
and so that's what I thought happened. But I guess
I agree. I felt like something was weird.
Mm. So, I mean, it was like I said, it was still a strong matchup to start
because they did like two back-to-back like get heat on the Usos segments, but felt weird after him coming in with an injured leg.
Yeah,
I don't know. I find it odd that they gave him the title shot on Raw too, and not the pay-per-view. I guess because that was for the belts.
Yeah.
So I guess
Move on to the next.
no tag title match at the pay-per-view, or
Not at the moment, I guess. But, you know, unless they announce something on SmackDown. But who knows?
Bump the WLC. Or
That's the pre-show.
Bump it to the main.
Bump it to the main card.
Yeah.
Put the tag match at...
do you guys get the impression that that's just a cute name that they picked out, or they're actually going to have a TLC between those guys?
See, that's what I want to know. You know, like normally in a TLC matchup, you know, they have to climb the ladder in order to win and reach something. So what is that going to, you know, what are they going to do? Like,
I'm probably leaning to where it's just a cute name they came up with.
Yeah.
But that's a big bump for for a little person, you know?
Yeah. One thing that I thought of as far as the matchup, you know, like I said, they do climb a ladder and have to retrieve something. So what I'm thinking they might do is, you know, the winner has to climb the ladder and retrieve a contract that'll give their side, you know, a tag team championship match either on the pay-per-view or, you know, in the near future. And that could be something for them to fight for, I guess, in this WLC match.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but we'll find out.
Are you personally leaning towards cute name, or they're actually going to have a TLC? I mean, you don't have to agree that it's clever, but do you think they were being cutesy with the name? Or
I think they were being cutesy, and then they're like, "Well, we could probably pull this off."
Like, yeah, both.
So I think they're gonna do that. But yeah, but we'll dive on into that a little bit later. But Usos do end up getting the victory, which brings us into the next matchup. Sheamus going up against Titus O'Neil, and before the matchup can even get started, Titus O'Neil jumps Sheamus from behind and just starts wailing into him. I mean, hitting him hard and all kinds of stuff. The ref was, you know, trying to get Titus O'Neil back to check on
O'Neil
Sheamus.
is the real deal.
The real deal. And you know, match starts and Sheamus ends up just giving him a bro kick and getting the pin. So,
yeah.
You know, you kind of felt like this was Titus's time to shine or time to step up. But they gave Sheamus the victory.
Tell you what, in WWE 2K14, he's the real deal.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's the man. I made him the man.
He's your champion?
Well, he just lost the belt, but he'll
Who did he
regain
lose
it.
to?
He lost to Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what's so cool? With the taunt, you can hear him go, hurrah, 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 hurrah. You can hear when he says it. That's really cool.
Nice.
It's not that he lost, it's the manner in which he lost.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him like come out aggressively. But it's all for nothing if you're going to beat him off of like 30 seconds in with a bird kick.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
And it's like, well, that was fun.
So what was the point of even, I don't know.
No point.
There was no point.
You could make him look strong in a competitive match with him like being aggressive, but if you beat him in 30 seconds, it doesn't matter what he did before that.
So, yeah, but Sheamus does end up getting the victory despite the cheap attack. Next up, we got to see Dolph Ziggler come out, bring out Hugh Jackman, who was happy to be there, and then he was interrupted by Magneto Sandow. I don't know. I felt like this. I felt like it kind of fell flat. They were trying for the forced humor, and it just didn't really work out for me.
I chuckled at parts of it, though.
Yeah. It's kind of like, man, how far has Sandow fallen? Like, he's no longer the intellectual guy. He's the...
I kind of felt like it was drug on for a little bit, but I did like the end part where Hugh Jackman was he had the microphone. He's like Sandow's like, I got magnetic powers and all that stuff. I thought that was funny.
And he just threw it at him. Doug, what do you think?
I really didn't mind this. I did chuckle a few times. If they insist upon doing these sorts of things, like obviously this plays to my particular interest, so I don't have as big of a problem with it. Like, because I like X-Men, so of course I think it's cool. But I mean, like as a rule, all they did is make their own guys look like geeks compared to this other guy. I mean, what does it say for
Sandow?
what does it say for Dolph Ziggler? I mean, he was just like, oh yeah, you punched me real good last time, you knocked me out, but that's okay. I mean, do you think Triple H would be like, last time you were here, you knocked me out,
you kicked me in the nuts, that's all right, dude.
Do you think Stone Cold or The Rock would act that way? I mean, that probably says they don't ever see Ziggler in that light. I mean, Sandow looked like I thought Sandow came off looking better than Ziggler because I thought he had some nice impromptu stuff where
good quips.
Where the crowd was sitting chanting, knock him out, and he's like, don't tell me what to do or whatever. I thought that was good.
Silence.
Yeah, and I thought Sandow came off looking better than Ziggler. Ziggler just kind of looked like a dork. I mean, because they were just like, oh yeah, hey, you knocked me out, it's all good though, bro, whatever.
Let's bury the hatchet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I still get the chicks.
Right. I mean, it was weird,
That's
right?
what JBL with the asteroid is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy for a second that he knows what Asteroid M is or Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch for that matter.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I mean, I if they're gonna do this sorts of stuff, obviously, yes, please give me X-Men. Go ahead, give me Spider-Man, give me anything else other than the normal shit that we get, because that
you think that
caters to me specifically. But I mean, all you're doing is making your own dudes look like dorks.
Yeah, I don't think they would do something like this, but I guess after Batista's done with this, he's going to go do stuff for Guardians of the Galaxy. You think he'll come back for a night with some of his cast members or whatever?
I think he's done after the pay-per-view for a while, and I don't know. I think he'll
be back in time for SummerSlam to get a good paycheck.
Oh, I mean,
August 1st is the release date. So
they'll do something with WWE. I don't know, just for a night or something, I don't know.
Did the Sandow's costume look? They have those new hoodie costumes where they zip. Is that what he was wearing, or did it look like something they made up? It looked
a little different. Something they made up. That's what it looked like to me, though.
He had a zipper and everything, so I thought it was how they do all those now, where they're the hoodies that.
Yeah.
That's what it sort of looked like. I guess it was a little bit fancier though. I don't have a problem with Hugh Jackman. I specifically don't have a problem with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Just, I don't know.
They could have used him a different way, and
honestly, I don't think that you can. I think that if you insist upon doing something like this, you have to make the people that come in look good, or why would they bother? Or
right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think that is a win-win situation for them. I guess they prioritize it as whatever exposure they're going to get off of this is worth making their own dudes look like geeks. Which, I mean, I guess Ziggler and Sandow have been looking like geeks for a year now. I mean, so I guess I don't really know why we're complaining about it, but. I mean, you laugh, but have they?
No, I'm laughing because I just came to the realization that they have been doing this for a year.
Right.
They had their Tennessee brawl or whatever, or they had to use the drums, and that was Sheamus too. Sheamus and Sandow.
So I mean, you could complain about them looking like geeks, but they've been looking like geeks for a long time.
Yep. It's been going downhill for these guys, but yeah, I mean, it was whatever. They showed a clip from the movie, which is cool.
I mean, give me that over whoever the fuck else they're going to bring out.
Right. So that takes us in the next matchup. Cesaro going up against Swagger. Really short matchup. This one ended after Paul Heyman was pulling on Coulter's mustache, reached around and grabbed him and had an odd finish. And
his entrance music's still not doing it for me.
Yeah. I mean,
people's give it time. I don't know. I just don't like the first part. That siren's cool. But
the air raid, the air raid's cool, but it sounds like an industrial rock.
Does it also go with what I feel like what he wears? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a mismatch. But Doug, how about you for the theme?
Oh, the theme, the theme doesn't grab me. I suppose that it could grow in me, but I doubt it.
If they play it enough times.
Yeah, it's sort of weird. The dynamic of this feud is super weird because it's sometimes it's almost as if Zeb is the babyface in this, and Swagger is the babyface in this, which is not, I don't think, how they should play it. I mean, I guess you can't really babyface Cesaro either, but that's the dynamic. If you're going to break a team, it's odd to not babyface one of the guys.
Yeah.
So they're going to, by default, make one guy look more like the babyface whenever they're feuding with each other. So it's just weird. They should have clearly defined one of the guys and then blown it off before. It's even weirder that they're going to do a triple threat because traditionally you want the babyface to have the odds against him in the triple threat, which he does.
Yeah.
But it's also odd because the other two people are feuding with each other, and one of them is by de facto more of a babyface than that. So it's almost like it isn't. I don't know.
It's
very odd.
Yeah, it's an odd feud just because like they're doing two hills situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's the norm for these days.
And it's one of those things where, like, you know, Cesaro was the more popular of the two. So they split up. Fans got behind Cesaro. Cesaro tries to maintain his heel status, but still, playing to the crowd, saying, "Oh, y'all want to see the swing? Yeah, let's do the swing." You know, and then Swagger will break it up, so the fans hate Swagger. But then, you know, Cesaro still does heelish things, and
the people still say "We the people" when Jack Swagger.
Yeah, and it's just
they did it when he was standing over Cesaro too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's real odd. I don't know, like in my opinion, there should not be a situation in which you would be sympathetic to Zeb Coulter, and there have been a few situations where he has come out sympathetic within that feud, which I don't think should happen. I don't know.
Yeah, and
it's not a guy you can't spin him in a babyface light.
And even backstage, they had Coulter approach RVD saying, "Hey, you don't like Heyman, we don't like Heyman. How about we join forces and
how about we work
together in America?" But RVD turned them down, which is sort of it's such an odd feud that's going on. It's just it's so weird.
I mean, it makes sense for me for RVD to turn them down. I think that makes sense. I just don't. The dynamic of them feuding with each other and then introducing him into the feud, that's
strange.
What's weird.
Well, also weird. Like, I mean, it's still weird to do that, but like a week before or the week of, I mean.
Paul Heyman guy versus Paul Heyman guy, and then it's Cesaro versus Swagger. Like, that's the only thing.
Ex-Paul Heyman guy.
Ex-Paul Heyman guy.
Which is Paul Heyman guy.
Former Paul Heyman.
Yeah, former.
Yeah. So yeah, really crazy stuff. But backstage, but Cesaro did end up getting the victory. And then backstage, Renee Young trying to talk to Cena, and Cena has absolutely nothing to say. And I like this because it's showing that he's gotten shaken up. He's like, oh man,
Cena doesn't have the whole world in his hands.
He doesn't. But I like that they did that. Just because it shows concern on his part. How about you guys?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what it needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that takes us into the next matchup. Alberto Del Rio going up against Cody Rhodes. Del Rio gets the victory, and Cody gets upset and throws Goldust off again. So,
back off, bro.
Yeah. So it looks like they're doing, potential Cody heel turn, and by losing over and over again. So he's getting frustrated, and I don't know. I don't like that.
I guess they were gonna do it somehow, or like eventually Cody versus Goldust.
Yeah, I don't know about that. How about you, Doug?
I don't have much to say about this.
Yeah, no real interest.
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it in Cody. I don't think he's the top guy.
Yeah,
I just don't.
I feel like Cody works better a little bit as a heel. But I think he was at his best whenever he had the mask on, and he had to put bags over everyone's head and stuff like that. Who knows? But
yeah, I mean, literally the only two times that I've had any like positive reaction to Cody Rhodes was when he was doing the mask thing that you were just now speaking of, and when he got fired, like over his like getting married and whatever, and then he was like, hey, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna fight or whatever, and like they work well as a tag team. But I mean, I feel like Goldust is sort of leading him through it. Like I mean, just flat out, Goldust is the better guy, and they're trying to make Cody off of them, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think he has it. I don't know.
No, he doesn't have that higher levels.
I mean, he's just a mid-card guy.
Yeah. Tough road or whatever. Them's the breaks. Yep. So that takes us into the next matchup. Alexander Rusev going up against Xavier Woods. This matchup ends up in disqualification after R-Truth attacks Rusev.
I'm not getting behind Rusev.
Yeah. I'm more behind Lana.
I mean, I like the presence when he comes out, though.
You wish you were behind Lana.
That ass.
She's a good-looking gal. But, yeah, I mean, Rusev is just a wall. You know, he's an emotionless guy, and he just goes out there to just beat someone up. And, you know, I mean, I guess that's what his character plays into. But
I mean, I do like the part, like, how Lana, like, controls him. Like, hey, do this. I like that.
Rusev, crash. So, I don't know. How about you, Doug?
This was absolute dog shit. I mean, what the fuck happened here? Like, Xavier was about to get beat, and then Truth just runs in and stops him from getting beaten. It's not like Rusev had the hold on excessively after the count. Like, they didn't even finish the match. Like, he didn't tap or submit. He broke up the fall, which is stupid because they're supposed to be the baby faces.
Yep.
Then after
He's
the
protecting his buddy.
No, you can if he kept it on after the ref called the match, then you can come in and break it up. But you interfered in the match straight up, and then they double teamed them as baby faces after the match, and then
Which is exactly what baby faces are supposed to do.
And then Xavier Woods was like, "Come on, Rusev, I want to fight you." I was like, "No, you don't. You're just if you wanted to fight, if you wanted to fight him, why'd you have your buddy break up your match? You were fighting him. No, you don't." And then they're gonna have
It's under control.
And then they're gonna have a handicap match at the pay-per-view. What the as baby faces with the advantage? What the fuck is that? That's total horseshit. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
But that's what baby faces do, man. They gang up on the bigger guy.
Baby faces overcome the odds and fight from underneath. They don't fucking
That's what they're trying to do. They've both gotten beat by Rusev. The power of Rusev is too strong.
Then they need to acknowledge that they're not the better man and move on.
But they're not going to give them any mic time. This feud has been built on 2-minute matches with no talking whatsoever.
Fuck whoever booked this. Fuck whoever booked this.
It all stemmed from NXT, where Rusev attacked Xavier Woods. That's it. That's the only place that this feud stemmed from.
You can say whatever you want to say right now in defense of it. I'm just going to say this is absolute dog shit. I don't care.
It's going to be the feud of the year.
Inexcusable.
Is this part of the new reality era?
Reality, yeah. If you're not watching NXT, then you don't know what's going on because Xavier Woods came out and was like, I want to fight with Rusev. And he got to fight with Rusev, and Rusev kicked his ass. And then they went to Raw, and he kicked his ass. And then R-Truth stepped in, and he kicked his ass. And then he fought Xavier Woods again, and he kicked his ass.
Like, you don't get to say, come on, I want to fight you.
I want to fight you.
After you and your buddy double team him.
I was almost ready to tap out. You got to finish that fight.
I got this. Stand back, R-Truth. I got this.
Stand over here. Stand in front of me. I got this. So, but Rusev ends up winning via disqualification. So, next up, we got to see Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre going up against Los Matadores. With Heath Slater getting the win. A very rare win. A 3-man band.
3.5.
3.5 man band. Yes. So, Tyler, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I don't know. I don't have too much on it. I don't know. Is it weird that, like, during the whole match, I keep on, like, thinking, I know they'll talk about it a little bit. It's the main focus really is between Hornswoggle and
El Torito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, man, I can't wait for the pay-per-view. I'm not being sarcastic. I think it's going to be a fun little match.
Yeah. A fun little match.
I didn't mean it that way. Sorry. Well, okay, if they're going to say we all see, I guess I can say that. I didn't mean to, like, say, hey, little match, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, be sensitive to little people, Tyler. Be more sensitive. Not everyone's so fucking tall.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to that match.
There you go.
I'm just busting your balls.
Doug,
but seriously, be cool.
How about you, Doug?
I don't know. I didn't really take away much from this other than the fact that the commentary team celebrated like he won the main event at WrestleMania because Heath Slater won a match. But
it is a rarity, so I don't know. The internet probably blew a giant load. So, oh my God, Heath Slater won 3-B. So,
blew a load.
Yeah. So, yeah, that leads them into their matchup for Extreme Rules. So, next up, Stephanie McMahon came out and asked Daniel Bryan to come out and, accept her apology. And Daniel Bryan coming out with a neck brace and Brie at his side, and
You're full of crap.
basically saying you're full of crap. I don't
Yeah.
believe anything you're gonna say.
Yeah, I am. I just had some food.
So one thing that kind of concerns me is that he's in a neck brace and his doctors cleared him for Sunday, and he's like, I can't even move my neck right now. And it's like, well, you shouldn't be competing on Sunday. But I guess if he's gonna be cleared, I mean, he's already been cleared.
Well, he don't want to move his neck. Okay,
Yeah, he doesn't
has to get
need
ready
to
for that
move his
match.
neck to face Kane.
That match.
So,
That match.
I mean, what are y'all thoughts on the character development for Stephanie McMahon? The remorseful, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen.
Well, I thought it was much more apparent this week that she was being sarcastic or dishonest about it. The last week, it really felt like she was genuinely pleading with him to stop. I thought she did a much better job this week of get across the point that she was not actually wanting him to stop.
And it's weird because I just don't know how to feel about it, because when they like Triple H and her, they were named the Authority, and all that stuff. They just went back and forth between different people, and they were heels and faces. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't like Daniel Bryan, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to feel, because it may change, like after the pay-per-view somehow.
And it was just, I don't know. It was just weird. And, Stephanie tried to make it up to them by giving Brie a championship match. And, and that's what brought out Kane to try and attack Brie. And I found it interesting that Paige was able to get out of the ring so quickly, and yet Brie was unable to.
Am I correct that I thought Brie got out of the ring? That she got back in the ring?
She got back in after he got chokeslammed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
Didn't you just get out of the ring?
he was like, get out, go, run. And so she got out, and then he got chokeslammed.
Don't worry
and she
about
slides
me, just
right
go.
back in to check on him. And then it was like, help me. Yeah. You're full of crap. It was just, I don't know.
The problem with this is you can't do this on the same show that you do like what you do with Bray Wyatt. It seems like they're like, hey, all the A+ material, the spooky, creepy A+ material, we're giving it to Bray, and then Kane's got to stick with the hokey shit he's been doing for like 30 years. You can't, there's such a contrast between what Kane did and what they did at the start of the show. I don't think that you can get away with doing that on the same show, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
it's like,
just,
this is,
like I said, it was just an odd night.
it's just, that's not the angle you do. The angle doing Kane coming out of the ring is just lame in general in this day and age. It looks super lame. The lameness is magnified when you contrast that against what they did at the start of the show, where they did put some real actual thought and effort into making something creepy. And then I just had the problems with how things played out anyway. Like, I don't like the idea of like Bryan getting up and walking off. Like, Kane chokeslammed him. Brie came back in the ring to check on him. Bryan powdered and rolled out of the ring.
Yeah.
Then Brie got caught by Kane. But Bryan wasn't like legit out. He was just like selling on the. So then I have a problem with Bryan not like scratching and clawing to like fight for his like woman who's getting dragged away.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play that, he has to be out cold, and they have to walk him back or stretcher him out. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm too hurt to go help my girl who's getting like dragged away. You have to.
Yeah.
He has to be completely out,
and
or you don't do it.
He started off strong with it. Whenever Kane first grabbed him, and Bryan got in the ring and walked, I guess, as fast as he could, and tried to kick him, and Kane pushed him. He fell down, and he instantly went to his neck. On any other day, he would have gotten right back up and kept attacking, but because of his injury, I can't.
Right, and it's not. It's not that he could. It's not that he needed to be able to physically overcome his injury to help her. It's that he needed to look as if he was trying to physically overcome to help her, or he either has to be biting and clawing and scratching to get back at him, or he has to be out completely.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just be like selling, looking at his girlfriend getting dragged away, because that's not what fiery underdog babyfaces do. in my mind.
Right.
So you have to either knock him out or you don't do the angle that way,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And then, you also have Bryan getting the wrench and hitting Kane on the head. And
yeah, I mean, all the shit I was talking about was after the wrench, so, like, I'm kind of jumped the gun on it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was just, I don't know. I didn't like it. It was too hokey. It was too cheesy.
And that was magnified by what they did at the start of the show.
Yeah. So
it's like they have like the spooky.
Kane put the mask up.
It's like they have like, this is our writer who does all the spooky shit, and he's giving like all his A material to Bray Wyatt, and they're like, Kane, you get the leftovers.
And Kane walks
You're coming
over,
to the ring again.
And he's like, oh sweet, yeah, this would be perfect. Oh awesome, here you go, Bray Wyatt. This is my life's work. I have given this specifically to you. And then Kane's like, hey, what about me? Oh.
You're going to the ring again, bro.
Hang on. Where's the napkin? All right, look,
you're gonna stay out of the ring the whole show.
It's like he takes a napkin and pokes his finger through it. That's gonna be you, man. That's all you. You're coming out. Yeah, that'll work.
But
and we'll set off the pyro, and that'll scare them. Ah, rawr. But yeah, it's too hokey.
I'm fearful that this isn't the end of the feud. I feel like this should only be like a 1 month feud for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see how you stretch it out longer than that.
It shouldn't stretch.
They have to come out with somebody for Bryan to face after this.
Yeah, because
I give this month a pass because whenever I think about who I would want to see him, or I think he should be feuding with other than Kane, I can't come up with anybody.
Right.
So that's why they get a pass for this time.
Mm-hmm.
But next month they had better have their shit together.
Yeah, they should. Cesaro still has a bit to go.
Yeah, he's not ready.
Batista's probably on his way out. Orton.
I mean, Cesaro's ready, but you can't sacrifice his momentum. You can't sacrifice his build yet. So.
Right. So, yeah. And not to mention the stuff that, they had to go and rewrite due to Bryan having to take some time off.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, I'm down on this, but I give them a pass until next month. Like, that's when I'm, like, mad or worried for real.
Yeah. So, they have a little bit of time to get it together. But next up, we got to see John Cena deliver a promo, and he was his joking self talking about donkeys and Bray Wyatt and shoving his foot up Bray Wyatt's ass, meaning the donkey, and it's just, I didn't like it. I felt like it completely. I mean, unless it was, hey, this is me trying to act like I'm not creeped out by what I just witnessed earlier tonight.
That's exactly what I took it as. I thought it was. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good storytelling because either last week or the week before, like, Bray's whole point was you don't know how to confront like your fear, or when you're concerned, you make jokes, you make light of it when you're really and I thought they sold it because he was creeped out in the ring. They try to get an interview with him later in the show. He doesn't have anything to say. And it's almost like he's like, okay, this is what I have to do to put my foot forward. And goes like, I gotta put on my routine so I can make it through.
Yeah.
I thought it was good storytelling. I thought this
never
was
let them see you sweat.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought this plays into the story they're telling. Bray specifically called this out. He's like, when you're uncomfortable, when you're scared, that's when you're making jokes. And I think that's the story they're telling, and I think it worked. I mean, I heard a lot of criticism about how he just abandoned. I would agree with people if they hadn't specifically told the story. They specifically said in story, Bray's like,
this is your routine.
This is what happens when you're scared. When you're scared, you're joking. And you're right to shit on this if they hadn't told that in the story, but that's the story they're telling.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine.
And that's why I said I would have had a problem.
Right.
Unless they went with that.
I mean, I'm just saying because I heard so many people like, oh, he's just back to joking. I was like, that's the story they're telling, right?
Yeah. So, but if that's the case, if that's what they're actually going for, props to them for that. But if it's more of just we're just going to go out and cut our normal promo, then screw that. But
I really don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But next up, we got to see Bad News Barrett going up against RVD to find out who's going to be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. This one was just a cluster as well, with Swagger and Cesaro coming out and causing distractions.
So, like, who came out first?
Cesaro came out first.
Swagger, RVD.
And Swagger, he attacked RVD because of the Heyman beef with him, but Swagger came out to attack Cesaro, and that's why this angle is so weird. It's like, who's the good guy here besides RVD?
Right. They're both bad guys.
Keep Who is?
Which would be fine if they're just like, this is a triple threat with 2 bad guys and a good guy. Good. That's the formula you want in a triple threat match.
Right.
But when the 2 bad guys are feuding with each other, one is a de facto better guy.
Well,
like
it's bad guy, good guy.
They have to, if they're not feuding, they would have to team up if they aren't feuding with each other.
Right.
Which doesn't work in their dynamic.
But here's what it is. It's bad guy, good guy. You take out the good guy, and then you've got a good guy.
Right.
So Cesaro is the good guy. Swagger's the bad guy. RVD's the good guy. And that makes Cesaro the bad guy.
Just a weird situation.
Cesaro is the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah.
So is Swagger.
They're all good guys and they're all bad except for RVD.
RVD's the only true blue good guy so far. Which sucks because he's so fucking still.
He should have considered joining up with Zed. That would have been something fresh for his character, at least. And then he would have left, in a month.
Don't tread on my right to smoke pot. Come on. Yeah. Fits right in.
Don't tread on me, bro.
Don't tread on my 420. But bad news, Barrett ends up getting the victory.
Oh, plus Swagger's got the pot thing. That's the connection. Oh, wait, no, he wanted to team with Cesaro. No, okay.
Very true. So
we flipped it. It's Heyman that wanted to team with him. No, it was Zeb, right? Was Zeb approached RVD?
They both approached RVD. Okay. And
yeah, so he should have joined up with Zeb and Swagger then.
Yeah.
High times. So
high times.
Yes. So yeah, but next up we got to see Evolution come out, followed by the Shield, and they had a standoff, and then Ric Flair came out, and I don't know about you guys, but he seemed a little off to me. I mean, maybe he was just tired or something, but he came out, hey, is this St. Louis? Fans cheer. Oh man, I've had some good times here, and Dave, it's been too long, and I miss seeing you on a Saturday night. Same with you, Randy, and Triple H. I know you'd be at home eating a ribeye, and I've been dominant with the 4 Horsemen. Same with Evolution. It's all about controlling the stock, and that's what we've done. But that's not what I'm talking about now. It's the Shield is who I'm talking about, and he shakes their hands and then he leaves. So, they took it as he's giving the Shield his endorsement, but later on in the post show he was like, oh, don't look too far into it. So it's like, I don't know
what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, pretty much,
because I'm gonna swerve him at the pay-per-view.
And I'm just getting a paycheck.
And the fact that, whenever he went to shake their hands, he looked back at Triple H and gave him a wink, and so it's like,
I thought it started off fine and it could have been good, but he was missing a couple of lines that would have built to the payoff of it being actually it's the Shield I'm talking about, not you guys. It's like they missed 2 lines of the promo or something, and which would have made it totally fine. And
dominance and cohesiveness.
Basically, what I thought, a lot of people were like, he looked really off, or this was really bad.
He was drunk.
I don't think so. I think he was too scripted. I felt maybe he's I get the impression that he's maybe minding his P's and Q's because he kind of has to if he's going to be on air. And if there's anybody you don't want to heavily script a promo for, it's Ric Flair. If you want a Ric Flair promo, you just want him being fucking Ric Flair, which is always awesome when he can be himself. So I don't know. Some people say they thought he was drunk. Some people thought they just said it was flat or it sucked. I thought it's maybe they're this is what you're doing, and he's worried about his spot now because he can't fuck up too many more times. Right? So he's okay, I read the script.
Can't go back to TNA.
If it sucks, then it's on you guys. I'm Ric fucking Flair.
Yeah. So, but what are your thoughts about Ric Flair shaking the hands of the Shield, giving him their endorsement, so to speak?
I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe they're teasing a swerve. I thought I'm fine with him endorsing them. I mean, I don't know. No. I really liked their promo earlier in the night, the Shield, where they were they think that fancy cars and fancy watches and nice suits are symbols of power. It's those aren't symbols of power. This is
this is power.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And
this is today, tomorrow, and the future.
I liked all that shit.
Believe in the Shield.
Fisting.
I don't have a problem with Flair putting over Shield.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem.
But see, I don't feel like he put them over. I think
I felt like that was the intent.
Promo. Yeah, it was the intent, but he cut an awkward promo, shook their hands, and left. And that was it. There was
No dropping of the coat and then doing the elbow.
no.
That's fair enough, but
There was no talk from Evolution about that. Like they had to look like, what's going on? But they didn't try and stop him. They didn't try and say, well, that was weird. And
it's Ric fucking Flair. You don't stop Ric Flair.
but
You're absolutely right. I can't dispute that it came off flat, that it was very confusing of the intent. The announce team had to put over the story, which
for once
they actually were able to do. So I can't dispute it. It didn't come off right.
And the crowd was completely silent at the beginning of the match because they were still like, what just happened?
But I don't know. Like, I just feel like I've seen Ric Flair talk so many fucking times, and that just felt like that felt like Ric Flair on a short leash to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying, look, Ric Flair is fucking Ric Flair. He could have been drunk. I don't fucking know. Maybe he was. He could still be fucking drunk and cut a good promo, guys. Come on. Yeah. Ric Flair is fucking awesome, but I mean, I don't know. It felt like he was like, I'm sticking to the script. I'm here to play ball. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe you guys just say he's getting old and it was bad. I don't know. Fuck, it might be. Who knows? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Did it come off bad? Yes, it came off bad.
The next time he's going to be on air.
Well, I tell you, woo! But
who wants to go to the bar?
Who wants to go to the bar? Yeah. So that takes us into the main event matchup: Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, ending in a no contest after a brawl ensues, and Evolution gets the upper hand, starts beating down the Shield, but then they find the opportunity and take it, and they end up standing tall. So Shield stands tall to close out Raw. What do you think about the matchup? And the brawl, I guess.
I was a brawly into the show type thing.
Yeah. Trying to sell you on it, and I don't know.
Put that fucking knife away. What are you doing?
I have a knife in my pocket.
Why do you have a knife in your pocket?
Put that away.
Tyler's just pulled a knife on us, ladies and
just
gentlemen.
fucking start handling
This is our
a
final
knife.
broadcast. It's
That's
been
my
a great
fucking work
run.
knife.
We
It's
love
in my pocket.
We
It's
love
been in my
all of
pocket
y'all,
all day.
I love you, Mom.
except for Seth Rickson, minus 640 points.
It's the great Khali's knife.
No, wait, I take that back. Minus 32 points for each year that our lovely Doug has been alive.
Hey, man. Don't put me out on my age, son.
Stab
his
you
birthday.
motherfuckers.
Whoa! Man, heel
Crazy
turn.
motherfucker, and I'm coming through the door.
I think you mean 26 because that's a really good age. You know?
That's a nice age.
So, with that being said,
How old are you? How old are you, dude? Like 42?
I'm just saying, like, whose dick do you want next to you in your cubicle all day? You don't want that. That's too. He's gonna take too much attention.
Well, you have a nice dick, but your personality is horse
Dog
shit. Dog shit. Sorry.
I can tell that you're not whispering anything over there.
Sorry, workaholics clip again.
Yeah, put the knife away, Tyler, please, for all of us.
I don't like the thought of, or I don't like just looking over and seeing Tyler handling a knife.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Even if it's a work knife, they
trust
trust him
I
at
just
work.
don't trust him.
Yeah.
You trust me.
Who gave you that knife?
Who gave
My
you
dad.
Who gave you that claw?
You gotta talk to your dad.
Hey,
My
man.
dad gave me that knife. He says,
So-
if you need to stab people, here's this
Oh,
knife.
lovely.
You wanna stab people, you're gonna need a knife.
Yeah, this is how you're gonna do it. So that takes us into our Extreme Rules predictions.
Sorry
if we
for
can
that
make it through
randomness.
the show. Wow. Okay, pre-show. Hornswoggle versus El Torito in a WLC matchup. Tyler, who are you gonna go with on this one?
Oh, man, I don't know. I like them both.
Yeah.
El Torito.
Torito. All right. How about you, Doug? You think they might go with the stipulation of they win for their respective team and team gets tag championship?
If so, it'd have to be Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Or at least I guess it doesn't have to be, but that would make the most sense.
It would make no sense.
I don't know. Who are you going with?
Uh,
If this is like a one and done type thing, it feels like Torito should be the winner. But
right.
if they're gonna spin it into the tag thing like you're talking about, it should be Hornswoggle. I don't know. Convince me.
I'm gonna go with Hornswoggle. I think they might actually do it because they're gonna want to have some other reason why these two are fighting. I mean, I know, yeah, they've been putting them over pretty heavy here in the past couple weeks, but still, I'm gonna go with Hornswoggle.
You convinced me. I'm going to take Hornswoggle as well.
So there you go. Who you pick?
El Torito.
All right, so
Torito's a better worker. I want to see
Yeah.
him dive off some ladders, but
and I know Lee thinks he's 10 times better than Fandango. So good stuff. All right, Tyler, pick the next matchup. Don't hurt me.
Big E
Dude,
versus
Torito
Bad
is
News Barrett.
legitimately 10 times better than Fandango. Are you making a joke?
No, he said it. So.
Okay, good,
yeah.
good for that man then.
Big E versus Bad News Barrett. I know they're really behind Bad News Barrett, but I really don't know where they're gonna go with like the title. I don't know.
Internet championship. You're not saying it. Bad news. Bad news. Bad
I
news.
have a feeling that they're gonna put on Bad News Barrett.
Bad news, Barrett.
Remember the last time they put the title on him? Boom. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Bad News Barrett shit.
The under-evolved character of Chris Hero. Bad news. How about you, Doug?
Fuck it. No, I changed it.
Oh,
Keep it on
you
Big E.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right.
I take it as a bad omen that the only thing Big E's done on Raw for the past like 4 weeks is look at a TV screen. So I'm gonna have to go with Bad News Barrett.
But he's watched it in different poses at least.
He's watched intently. He's definitely studied up. So
He's done it crossed arms. He's done it while holding onto the belt over the shoulder. You know, like holding
He's
the
been in
belt.
commercials.
Yeah.
if anybody knows the
Kmart.
holes in Barrett's game, it's got to be Big E.
Yeah, he's been scouting everybody.
Yeah, right.
He knows what's going to happen. So I'm going to go with Bad News on this one.
I don't fucking
So-
care.
So Tyler out in the dark.
Yes.
2 matches. That's not good.
Yes.
All right, Doug, we'll let you pick the next one. Yeah. We got the triple threat. We got the handicap match.
I'll take the handicap match.
handicap match. R-Truth and Xavier Woods having to overcome the odds of Alexander Rusev.
I'll take Rusev.
What? How about you,
I'll
Tyler?
pick Lana.
Lana's not in the match. She's next
Damn it.
to the match.
Okay, Rusev.
She's got some
Dead
nice legs,
ass.
though. I'm going to go with Alexander Rusev as well. So let's go into the triple threat match. RVD versus Swagger versus Cesaro. I don't know. I mean, we've been talking about the rise of Cesaro in the ranks here lately, and I feel like this is just his chance to really stand out and beating a guy like RVD and Jack Swagger. 1, it'll end the feud between he and Swagger, and 2, it'll have the old veteran, sort of putting over the
Swagger
the new
wins,
guy.
and then it still goes on with
So
Cesaro.
I'm gonna pick Cesaro to win.
Cesaro.
Cesaro. All right, there you go. So Tyler,
Who did you pick?
Cesaro. So Tyler, who are you gonna go with on this one?
Paige versus Tamina
Snuka. Paige versus Tamina Snuka. Divas title. Haven't seen Tamina in weeks, but she got a
AJ Lee.
Yeah.
No, I pick AJ Lee. No. Paige.
Okay, Paige.
Paige.
How about you, Doug?
Paige.
I'm gonna go with Paige as well, unless they do a random Tamina Snuka. AJ returns and is like, "What have you done? You stole my title!" And yeah, whatever. But I'm gonna go with Paige as well. So
Women be catty. Am I right? I'm joking.
he's not joking. He's saying it straight face. It's like, Anyways, okay, Doug.
That was a joke.
Sure. What's the next?
I'm not
matchup?
sexist.
Sexist?
Definitely not sexist.
Steel cage match, Extreme Rules match, or
Steel cage
6-on-6?
match.
All right, steel cage. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt inside the steel cage.
Cage, rage in the cage.
What the fuck's going on?
Our cupcakes are kicking in.
I can tell.
The one that you didn't eat because you didn't get one.
I can fucking tell. Where's your...
Suck our collective dicks.
Yeah. Suck our dicks. Suck our dicks. Suck our dicks.
That was a great
I was
dick.
waiting for the guy who's been cleaning up the walk around while you were saying that and look in the window.
Those were great dicks.
All right, so Doug, who are you gonna go?
I'm gonna
Looks like
take
a
Bray Wyatt.
paintbrush.
Bray Wyatt. Okay. How about you, Tyler?
Bray Wyatt.
I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt as well. I think this is their chance to right the wrong from WrestleMania, so to speak. And who knows what they'll do with Cena after that. but he can afford a loss. It's okay.
We got to see that dick.
We got to see that dick.
We got to see that dick. You didn't do it. It was like starts off with one, then two of them do it, and then three of them do it.
Sorry.
What are we on?
Well, there's 2 matches remaining. Tyler, do you want to pick one?
He'll pick the wrong one.
Cupcake?
Okay. I'll pick the wrong one. Evolution versus
Evolution versus Shield. So you think Dana Bryan and Kane's going to be the main event?
Thinking about it, no, I want it to be. No.
It should be because it's the match that's named after the pay-per-view, and it's the championship match.
No, because Triple H.
He goes on last.
Yes.
Okay, so Shield versus Evolution. Who are you going to go with?
Shield.
Shield? All right. Doug?
Evolution.
Evolution. Interesting.
Well, if this is a one and done, then Shield should win, but I don't get the feeling that it is, which makes sense for Evolution to go over.
Okay.
Evolution.
I think it depends on if you think it's one and done or not.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to go with Shield.
I'm going to take Evolution.
All right. So we got an interesting matchup on this, this pay-per-view round.
That was a great pick.
That was a great pick. That was a great pick.
That was a great pick.
We got to hear that pick.
I think we can pull this off once a month.
This is going to be awful. Okay, final matchup.
You really
Daniel
want to hear
Bryan.
my pick?
It's got like 6 picks on there. Final matchup: Daniel Bryan versus Kane, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Extreme Rules matchup.
Brother Jack, dude.
Brother. So I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan on this one.
I am also gonna go with Daniel Bryan on this one. Tyler, we got to hear that pick.
DB.
That was a great pick. That was a great pick.
Your balls has a 6-pack.
So all of us picking Daniel Bryan on there for that one. If you're listening, first off, we apologize.
Sorry, just go see the Workaholics clip with the guys from Neighbors.
Make sure you comment your predictions on the comment section as well. And now, the Legends House.
Give me a break.
This Tony man. Legends never die. They just get better.
Should be able to kill you. Holy balls.
Switching things up this week, we're going to actually do Legends House first. So, very interesting. Tyler, did you happen to catch Legends House this week?
Nope.
No? Okay, so use of the network not coming into use. That's okay.
Yeah.
I happened to watch it this time, and I felt like this was a little bit better of an episode than the previous week, because the first week, it's an introduction. You know, you gotta, if you don't know who they are, that's what it's there for. It's there to introduce. But this one picks up where the first episode left off, where Roddy Piper was kind of getting ready to leave. He was just walking out, roaming around, but then he was talking about, I made promises to people that I would come and do this, and I don't want to go against my word. I want to just tough it out and do this. So he ended up going back to the Legends house and laying in bed, and Duggan was like, "Hey man, I thought you left." And he was like, "Oh, I did, but I decided to come back." And this episode really focused on a friendship between Piper and Duggan. They've really bonded over this over the course of the last 2 episodes, which is really cool to see. But the thing that I like about the show is that in these reality shows, they're an hour long on TV, right?
Yeah.
Well, you stop every so minutes for a commercial break. So an hour show is really like 44 minutes, give or take. Whereas this one, it's an hour long. So they get to tell a lot in the show. Yeah. But one thing I felt was kind of weird is like it felt a little choppy at certain points, because they were talking about the previous week that Duggan and Tony Atlas clashed, and then they were talking about, they made up and they're perfectly fine now, and it showed them talking and then walking off. But then later in the show, it actually showed them talking it out, saying, "Hey man, I didn't mean to step on your toes or anything like that. But it was a better episode because I guess each episode they're gonna have to go out and do something. That's their activity for the week or something like that. This one they were having to play polo.
Marco.
Not that polo, but the one where you're on the horse and you got the long stick and you have to hit the ball and whatever. But they were all talking about exactly. They were like, Atlas was like, I've never been on a horse. I'm not doing. There's no way I'm doing that. And Patterson was like, if I fall, that's pretty much it for me. So but luckily they instead of horses,
Mean Gene was like, I got to see that horse.
No, not exactly. But
sorry, Mean.
But instead of horses, they used golf carts. And they had drivers, and so they were in the passenger seat having to hit it. And so they divided up into two teams, red team and blue team. And Hillbilly Jim was the captain for one team. And I'll say this about out of everyone in the Legends house, Hillbilly Jim is the most like down to earth guy. He's like, look, we're here to have fun. We know we're gonna clash. At some point. That's another thing that I felt like about this episode. They're all anticipating the blow up. They're like, it's inevitable. Someone's gonna blow up. We all have short fuses. It's just a matter of time. But for now, we're trying to.
I wish they would have thrown the Sheik in there.
Have you listened to Hillbilly Jim's episode on Cabana's Art of Wrestling?
I have not.
It's pretty good. You could tell he's very like, I get along with everybody. He's very like, everybody likes me. I like everybody. It's fine,
Yeah, and like, they showed him laying in bed, and they're all talking about how much he snores. He's very, very loud apparently.
I think he's on radio too now.
Yeah. Well, they had a cleaning lady come by, and she was cleaning the kitchen, and it shows him laying in the bed. Then she's cleaning a different part of the house. He's still in bed, and it shows her walking into the bedroom with the vacuum cleaner, like rolling it in. It wasn't on yet. And he was just snoring away, and then it cuts to him sitting outside talking, and he was like, I was sleeping, and I kept hearing someone say, excuse me, and then it cuts to the cleaning lady, excuse me, and he was like, I thought it was a dream, and then I wake up and there's a lady standing in my bed, and he was like, oh, you go ahead and vacuum, don't worry about me, I'm not here to cause you any trouble, and he was like, this lady's got it bad enough as it is. She has to clean up our messes, so I'm not gonna, be like, hey, get out of here or anything. So, he's a nice guy, so it seems at the moment. But yeah, he was very down to earth, very real kind of guy. But anyways, they had, like I said, they had a polo game, and I forgot whose cart it was. I think it was Tony Atlas, but one of their carts broke down as someone's trying to score, so they get a score, and Jimmy Hart's like, no, that doesn't count because,
baby.
Huh? Yeah, that don't count, baby. So they're trying to say, oh, well, we had faulty equipment, and they go into they have a rule book, and well, they don't have a rule book, but they have an official there, and he's like, well, normally if one of the horses get injured, that's it. Like, that's the end of the match. We stop play, which is good because, you don't want the animals to get hurt. And so they're like, so we'll do the same effect. We'll just go straight into sudden death. And Hillbilly's team ended up losing. And so then they go and have dinner, and, it's one of those I wouldn't say emotional, but it was one of those moments where they're all telling stories of, hey, who was your first matchup? Oh man, it was, such and such back in 1954 or whenever, so it was really cool. And then that Ashley chick, I feel like they're going to grow to hate her, even though she's eye candy basically for them. Like every time she comes around, they're like, oh, hey, Ashley, what's up? But yeah, every time she comes by, they always have to end up doing something. So I feel like they're eventually going to hate that. But she's like, oh, by the way, since this team lost, y'all have to clean the stables for the horses. And, so they end up doing that. And they're all given, like almost knee-high boots to help clean up. And they gave Mean Gene the wrong size, or they gave him 2 left boots, so he couldn't wear them. So he's out there in his short little loafers having to clean it up. And he's like, you got to be kidding me out here. And and Hillbilly Jones like, hey man, I grew up on a farm. I'm not, this is nothing new to me. I'm knock it out all day. And then Tony Atlas is like, first I was, and they had just finished up and were getting ready to leave, and Atlas is like standing next to a horse who's like eating out of a trough or whatever, and he's like, for such a big animal, you sure are peaceful, and not today, but one day I'm gonna ride you. And he goes to pet it, and like the horse almost like snaps at him because he's in the middle of a meal, and he's like, oh hey, screw you, I'm out of here. So but yeah, and there was also a part where they had to go do Zumba. So
I've heard of that, but I don't know exactly what it is.
It's basically it's an exercise
You dance
by dancing. You do the dance movements and all that.
How's it go?
I'm not going to show you. But
that was a great dance. That was a great dance.
But earlier in the show they focused on Howard Finkel. He was walking around the tennis court, and he was like, I've made a goal for myself while I'm here. I want to do at least 25 laps around the tennis court so I can, lose some weight. And he was even talking to Piper about, he wants to lose some weight and get a little healthier. And, Piper was like, hey, you'll live longer. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, hey, you might even get some hair up there, up on the dome. And he was like, oh, that'd be great. So, so they brought up the Zumba, and, he was really excited, but he's clumsy as hell. So like, he has like no coordination.
Think you mean?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, so all of them are taken to a Zumba class with all these girls, and Ashley's there too. And, they're bending over and they're like, oh, that's my favorite move. I like that. And, Ashley was talking about, oh, Piper's great. He's not the best dancer, but once it comes to that thrust, man, he's got it down. So, they're doing the Zumba, and Mean Gene and Pat Patterson end up sitting out. They're like, I'm 85 years old. I'm about to drop dead as it is. But yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. It was more entertaining this episode than the last one, and it kind of closed out with them trying to prepare dinner. Them being Mean Gene and Patterson, they were gonna cook some steak and hamburgers, but they didn't thaw out the food.
Is it gonna be like the gag that they don't ever get the food done? Is that the running gag of the show?
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time where they're like, oh, let's do this, but something goes wrong,
right,
and so they can't cook. So they were trying to thaw out the food, and they put it in like the microwave, but they didn't start it because apparently they don't know how it works. And so imagine 3 old guys just sitting around going, well, you got to turn it to defrost and then hit start, and it's not doing anything. And, Jimmy Hart's hungry, but they were talking about how picky of an eater he is. So I can really sympathize with him. But they were asking him, oh, you like pepperoni pizza? Oh no, I hate pepperonis. Well, what about egg rolls? Oh gosh, no, I can't stand that. It's just, and it's just really funny because they're all sitting there just laughing their asses off at him. But he's like, I've always got a backup plan, baby. Oh, and you get to see how he does his hair. Like, he's walking around in a bath towel. He's standing in front of the mirror. Oh man, this is, you can already tell this is going to be a bad day for my hair, but you got to make sure it's in place. And so that's an interesting thing as far as how he does it, because he was like, everyone's talking about, man, it's not a mullet, it's a Jimmy Hart haircut, So I mean, it's just like it's really crazy stuff. But anyways, Jimmy Hart, Gene Okerlund, Pat Patterson, all standing around a microwave going, well, how do you operate the thing, And Jimmy's trying to explain it. Okerlund's getting pissed off at him because Jimmy, is saying, well, let me cook a potato and some beans so I'll have something to snack on while y'all get the meal ready. So so he makes his beans and potato, and Patterson's like, well, screw this. Let's just put it in the fridge and tomorrow it'll be ready. And so, it's getting like to be 8:30, and, Piper's getting hungry. When he gets hungry, he gets cranky. And so they're all like, oh, they changed up plans on us, so we're going to have to fend for ourselves. So they're all trying to figure out what they want to do for dinner. So Atlas and Jim are saying, well, why don't we cook something? We'll cook some chicken and some hamburgers or whatever, and, and we'll do that. Meanwhile, Piper and Hacksaw are outside in the middle of the night with their phone / GPS trying to get a signal to find a nearby place that'll deliver food, and it doesn't work. So they go back inside frustrated, and then Jimmy Hart's like, "Hey man, they made some food for you, so if you want to come by," and Piper's like, "Oh, bless your heart. Well, thank you very much. We'll come by and eat some." And that's when they talk about Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Tony Atlas, sort of talking everything out, where they're like, "Hey man, I didn't mean to step on your toe the other day. We're just And so Atlas was like, "No, man, no, it's fine." So they got to talk it out. And another thing that they touched on the show was how out there Tony Atlas can be, where he'll talk to you for 45 minutes, but he won't say anything. It's just like he changes topics so often. So it was really weird. And it looks like next week is where they're really going to start clashing with one another. It's Patterson's going to blow up on them, and everyone's going to gang up on Tony Atlas, and Tony Atlas is going to gang up on them, and just it's going to be all kinds of chaos in the Legends house. And me and Gene Okerlund's going to say "Holy balls."
Holy balls.
Apparently that's his thing, because he said it twice now. He said it once per episode. And,
hey man, you're gonna be the guy that's gonna say "holy balls" on the show. Okay.
Balls.
Okay.
So yeah, stay tuned for
Holy
more
balls.
Legends House. And I hope I did this episode a little bit better justice than I did the first episode. So there you go. Holy balls.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
So, hi. Total Divas Tom.
Yep. Let's do it.
What it do? Did you watch this week?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, let's not make the mistake we made last week, and let's save the cat stuff for last. That's the finish.
That's the payoff.
Well, the episode begins with, it's not really part of the storyline. It just begins with who's the chick who does their outfits?
Oh shit! I know her name.
Sandra? No.
Miss Sandra.
Sandra?
I think it's Sandra.
Okay. Alicia Fox.
They're all talking about boobies, right?
Cameron, Naomi. That's Amber. No. But
it was Alicia Fox. No, Cameron and Naomi. Yeah.
They're both there, and they're trying to get Miss Sandra to twerk and all that stuff. And is one of the Bellas there? No. I don't know. They started
they might
twerking,
walk up on them.
And they got Sandra to twerk and all that stuff. Well, she did a little bit. She wouldn't do it at first. It's like, I'll do your clothing. I'm not going to twerk. And before you know it, everyone twerks. That's about it. Okay.
So I guess was it just the Bellas doing the chicken thing and then the cat stuff?
Well, there's two. There was the cat stuff, and then they also had Natalia with TJ.
Right.
That was kind of going hand in hand with the cat stuff. So,
that's what I was trying to remember. Yeah.
I guess we could do serious stuff first about, I guess, the Bellas.
Let's do the chicken shit.
Okay. So, okay.
Basically, they were at at the grocery store after a show or something. I don't know. And Nikki's gonna pick up some chicken, and Bree's like, "No, you're not getting that." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Well, that's terrible. The conditions they keep the chickens in are really awful." And I'm not sure of the exact proper terminology. I know there's free range and
yeah,
I don't know the difference between free range and organic.
They talk about it.
They do, but she's basically they're kept captive in horrible living conditions, and they're living on top of each other and with no room to move, and they're eating each other and
but
all kinds
still
of fucked
got
up
the
shit.
chicken.
And she's like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I just want some chicken. And so I mean, Bree just kind of keeps talking shit on her or whatever.
Yeah, and they're done at the store.
Yeah, I guess we move forward till I guess they're at catering one day.
No. They're at wait, is it catering?
Catering comes first, I believe.
Catering.
No, you're right.
Trey Songs.
Yeah, they're doing some video shoot with some guy named Trey Songs. I don't know who the fuck he is. I guess he's some guy who has music, and they're gonna dance in. Are they dancing in the video?
They're dancing in there, and then I guess the catering for that video got them.
Right. Well, yeah, they were getting food or whatever, and she was like,
some chicken salad, right?
They were talking about whatever they were gonna eat, and then Nikki was like, "No, seriously." I mean, Bree was like,
people
no.
in the room.
Yeah, some people, I don't know. And she was like, "No, give me my laptop." And she showed her this horrific video about the terrible living conditions of animals and farms, and it was genuinely fucked up and genuinely sad. And,
yeah, they were kicking pigs, and
some
chickens were dead, and it was like
100 chickens in the smallest cage you can imagine. Legitimately fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like legitimately like really make you think twice type shit. It was really bad, and Nikki kind of like
felt bad. And,
yeah, she felt bad.
Freaked out.
She couldn't stop thinking about it or whatever. So I guess
she wouldn't eat chicken or anything else.
Yeah, so they kind of flash forward again to where they're at catering again. It's like the Bellas and Bryan, and I think like Heath Slater's hanging out, and she started talking about how she can't eat anything because of the video that Nikki couldn't eat anything because of the video that Bree showed her, and I guess Bree was like, "No, I talked to the catering lady, and she said it's all like free range or organic or whatever the proper terminology is. I don't quite know, so I'm not gonna pretend that I do, but." So they're like, no, it's fine.
And they fast forward to like,
basically,
Bree feels bad about doing that or showing that to her. I mean, because it freaked Nikki out. So they went to what do you call it? Like a farm? No.
Basically, Bree takes her to like a local owned like farm that like does like slaughter the animals for like food, but the standard of living for the animals is like much better. They're allowed to go outside. Like the chickens run around and like outside. They're not like trapped in a cage where they can't move, and like they don't like inject them with hormones and all this shit. It's very like a organic, like free range, whatever the proper terminology is. It's like they treat the animals right. They do slaughter the animals, but they treat them well beforehand. And so like she feels better about eating food, like eating the food going forward. It really was like some pretty horrific stuff in the video.
Yeah.
Totally like stomach turning stuff, and definitely makes you question like how and what you eat. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it's like difficult. Like in real life, I think it's difficult to change your diet so dramatically. I mean, I guess there are like vegans and stuff out there, and there are people who only eat organic, and there are people who only eat like free range, and that's fucking fantastic. Good on those people. Mm-hmm. I just think, I don't know how you could live like, I don't know how you fit that into a busy life, because that's a lot of researching like where your food is coming from and what you're putting in your body. And I totally respect the people who can do it, but it's pretty, I don't know how that I could fit that into my life like right now. I don't know, but I got respect for it. But yeah, it was pretty horrific shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and the bad part was when I was watching that, I was eating food, and I was like, no, I would put my food down. That they showed that video. I would put my food down. No, it was not.
I tried to go vegetarian just like for 1 month when I was like, I don't know, like 19 or 20 or something. And just
How'd that go?
I didn't even go full vegan. I just went like tried vegetarian. It was the hardest shit ever, because it wasn't, some people don't eat meat because they don't like meat, which is unfathomable to me, because I, like, I mean, mine would be like for animal, like compassion reasons, not because I don't like meat, because it's fucking delicious, but I mean, real talk. I mean, like I think more people do it for like the social issues than whatever. But I don't know. I got a lot of respect for people who can control their diet to that measure. I just don't know how I could fit that in my life. Yeah. And maybe that's just lack of like drive or lack of discipline on my part. But I don't know. I tried it vegetarian once, and it was incredibly difficult. I was also young and partied a lot, so it maybe like contradicted my lifestyle. But at that time, I don't know. It was weird. But moving on.
I guess we'll go into...
let's do the Natty and TJ stuff.
Okay, so they are going... Well, okay, now
Natty's got a muscle and fitness shoot. Is it muscle and fitness?
Yeah, well, they showed that she's in, I guess, is it Flex?
Flex or muscle and fitness or whatever. Yeah. One of those, like,
she's in the magazine and all that stuff, but they were going to go for, I guess, another shoot and also an interview.
She's doing some sort of signing.
Yeah, and signing too. So they're going to New York.
The one, just to interrupt real quick, the one like 30 seconds of Summer Rae in this episode was her saying, "Isn't that a men's magazine?" to Natalia.
Oh yeah, so there was a little,
cattiness.
Yeah, but that was the end of Summer Rae.
Literally, she's dead.
yeah, she's dead. So yeah.
Total jokes.
They go to New York, but the thing that TJ doesn't tell Tyson Kidd doesn't tell her at the last minute that his sister is going to go with them or meet them there, whatever. But apparently
he's flying her out. He's paying for a trip.
Apparently,
which pisses Natty off.
Yeah, Natty doesn't get along with her. She says she's opinionated and all that stuff.
Well, if you flash back to earlier in, like, guess the first season, they show like a lot of tension between Natty and his TJ's mom and sister. Like that time they had dinner and stuff, and they didn't get along.
Yeah.
But basically, the beef was that he paid for his sister to go on the trip. She wanted it to be like she did have to work, but she wanted her downtime from work to be romantic for them to. He invites his sister, so that it's not going to be a romantic trip for them. And on top of that, he pays for her, which he didn't consult her before, paying for her trip and then sending her to a spa when they got there and paying for like her hair and nails. And on top of that shit, he's going to listen to this shit. This is stupid. He like her, I guess I don't want to offend anyone. So if you run a bouncy house castle business, that's awesome. But it was just so out of place. It was just so out of place in the episode. Like, she wanted to borrow money from him to buy a bouncy house so that she could rent it out, like, as a part of business. And that's like what, like, so a lot more than you'd think it'd be. Wouldn't he say like $5,000 or something?
Yeah, $4,000, $5,000.
And that actually sounds about right.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that. I was like $500.
Because when I worked at my other job at the park, we looked into stuff like that, and that's actually a fair price for it.
I mean, it was just I don't mean to insult anyone who rents those out. It was random. It was really random. And he was just like, she flipped her shit because he didn't consult her before all this shit, and then like they didn't get to get romantic. And their hotel, like, they have those adjoining hotel rooms where they like join in the bathroom and there's like a double doors back up to each other. That's the room he got a sister with him.
Yeah.
It was total weird.
It's like, we can't do anything. It's like, yeah, you can. Just don't acknowledge that she's on the other side. Just do your thing.
It was totally weird because wait, I totally lost my train of thought. She was flipping out, and he like rebuttals that she bought her parents a new car or something, but she was like, yeah, but the reason that our cats are taken care of and my mom is my personal assistant and all this other shit, and he's like, basically it doesn't matter because you didn't talk to me. And they were both like, you know what, we're both fucking up. We need to start communicating better about major purchases and like financial decisions with each other.
She bought something for her mom, bought a car for her mom without telling him.
I totally just said that.
Did you say that?
I totally just
Oh my gosh, I'm not thinking.
You're not listening to me.
I don't listen to you at all.
I know. I'm just talking. But
just wasting our time.
But basically
your face.
They almost didn't go on the trip in the first place because they didn't have anyone to watch their cats. But Ariane steps up. She's like, I fucking got this. I'll be in town. We have a loop through Florida that weekend. We have a show. We'll stop in. We'll stay at your house. We'll take care of the cat. She's like, awesome. We're going to go on our trip. So apparently Ariane's from Florida originally.
Well, was she originally, or she
stayed there for a while. Maybe it was for developmental.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of peeps there. They're going to stop in and look after the place so TJ and Natalia can go on a trip.
What could possibly go wrong?
Cracks me up is Vinny.
We got the return of Vinny this episode.
Yeah, they're like exploring the house when they first get there.
But it was so awesome before though. It was like whenever Vinny was picking her up from the airport, she's like, "Where are you at?" He's like, "Man, I'm in the blue Charger. I'm looking good, baby." I don't know. It was awesome.
When they got both in the vehicle, they were like, she was so excited.
She was doing like crazy shit. Like she was just like yelling and like being annoying. It's like, "What's wrong with you, babe? What's wrong with you?"
They finally got there and they're exploring the house.
Well, Ariane was. He was
he saw that recliner that
TJ's like massage chair.
He's like, oh man, he's in there, and she's like going through like Natalia's stuff and
like her drawers with the receipts and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I found receipts. Like what?
She's looking at her shoes and be like, aren't these ugly?
She dressed up in the car.
She dressed up as Natalia, and she's like, "What? I look like a librarian." What
if he said, "What's wrong with Natalia? She looks like a grandma."
I think Ariane was like, "Do I look sexy?" And he was like, "No." Something weird. I don't know. He was just like, he's like, honestly, babe, I just want to sit in this this chair right now.
He's like, oh, look at the TV.
But she was like digging through all kinds of shit. I don't know.
And then I guess they fast forward to inviting people over, right?
They have a big party because, of course, when you house sit for someone, you have to have a big party, right?
Did you see Percy Watson? Was it Watson?
Watson.
Did you see him?
I know who you're talking about, but I didn't see him at the party. Was he at the party?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He just didn't have his glasses on.
Oh, man, I got to rewatch it now. Mm-hmm. Wow. What was his thing? Oh, what was his saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, was it like this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, so they're like getting drunk and whatever, and so
some guy left the door open.
Well, first, John and
Naomi, Trinity.
John and Trinity come over. They're like, "What in the fuck are you doing at this woman's house? You're having a party. You're digging through her shit. This is fucked up. This ain't right." And like they're just like partying down. Vinny's like pouring drinks for everybody, having a good time, and they're like partying. Someone leaves the door open. Their fucking cat Louie gets out, who is the ugliest fucking cat I've ever seen. Fuck that cat is so ugly. They have a black cat, a solid black cat, which is really cute, and then they're fucking the cat they love so much. Apparently, they love it more than the black cat because they're always like have names for it and like. Oh God! Before we get into this shit. Do you remember before when, you know how everyone has really awful, like, pet voices? When Natalia was doing her pet voice for Lou, she was like, I love my kitty, I love my kitty. Your dad's an asshole. She has the worst cat voice ever. Yeah. I hate her pet voice. But anyway, so the cat gets out and they're, like, flipping out and they're, like, looking through the whole neighborhood everywhere.
They eventually go outside. They talk to the neighbor.
Well, the neighbor is like, is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, everything's fine. She's like, I heard you calling for Louie. And they're like, Ariana's trying to play it off. She's trying to lie. She's like, oh, our friend Louie's out here. The cat's in the house and all this shit.
Yeah. And she's like, who hit that pole over there? Like,
no, someone,
I don't know.
No, like somebody hit her mailbox. And, and Vinny was like, honestly, that's the first time I'm seeing this.
Okay, so like, I'm confused. Didn't it seem like, okay.
The neighbor calls her.
No, yeah, I know, but like, did they just found the cat like in a room?
They tried to make it seem like the cat was under the car, but it looks like they just found a really dark place for them to shoot it and make it seem like they found the cat. It looked like total bullshit. But in the midst
of like all that, they call Natalia.
The neighbor calls Natalia and says, "There's a bunch of cars at your house. I think there's a party. I think they lost your cat." And she's like, her and TJ are in the midst of their big fight before they make up, and they're like both flipping out. They're like, "We're flying home first thing. Our cat's gone forever."
Oh my God!
Yeah, and it's like a big thing.
People.
Like that cat is her life.
Look,
not TJ.
Look, I'm a cat person too. I like cats, not their ugly ass cat. That black cat is cute though. I like the black one. But fuck that ugly cat, Louie. Ugly ass cat. I hate those fucking smush faced animals. Ugh.
Oh, like the grumpy cat. Like
even Grumpy Cat's cuter than that fucker.
Oh, okay.
But so they're both like freaking the fuck out, like they're gonna go home. But they totally find the cat, and they like she calls them back. Well, like Natalia calls her, and she tries to play it off. She tries to lie to her, and then Vinny, and then she just basically said, "I can't even lie to you. Like we lost Louie."
It's so funny because TJ was like, "I want everybody out of my house."
TJ is fucking dead to me. He talks shit on Vinny not once but twice.
Twice.
He was like, whenever he was like, she was saying something, and he was like, if they don't find my cat, they're not gonna find Vinny or something like that. And Vinny ain't even the one. Like he's there and partying, but like Ariane's the one who made the commitment to all this. Like Vinny didn't do shit, right? He just like came along with his girl, and the second thing is, what was the other one where he talked shit to? He talked shit on Vinny twice.
Oh, because he said he got in his recliner.
Yeah, he was just like, all he said was just like, "Man, I really like your chair. It's like super nice." And he was like, "Yeah, it'd be a shame if you couldn't get out of it or something like that."
Yeah,
like real like I'm a tough guy, and I was, you know what? I was like, "Fuck you, TJ, you're dead to me."
Yeah, don't diss Vinny.
I mean, Vinny was like a little bit out of control, like party guy mode, but it was fun loving, right?
Yeah,
it was fun loving, and it wasn't his fault because Ariane was the one who took responsibility.
And was it after that they were still on the phone? John was like, "Hey, this is Uso," or whatever. And
he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, this," because they told him to shut the party down, but Trinity and John were still there. Like, "No, dude, party's still on." But yeah, fuck, man, TJ. You know what? TJ and Natalia are represented as the most miserable couple of all time on that show.
Yes, I agree.
If you had to pick going in, like, who do you think who would come off the absolute worst? Who do you think it would be? Do you remember who you thought was going to come off the worst going in? Did you think it was going to be Natalia and TJ? Because they come off like the worst couple of all time. They're always fighting. They're always like flirting with different people. They have some like ugly ass cat they're obsessed with. They talk shit on Vinny. I thought it was going to be
John Cena and
John Cena doesn't count because he's not on the show enough.
Yeah, he's not.
He's just barely on to like give Nikki some.
But that's what I was saying. That's who I thought when it first started. Whatever.
I don't even count. I don't even think Bryan's Bryan's on more than Cena, but I almost don't even count Bryan because he's not like John's on every episode. You know? And it's like John and like Trinity are the only. They come off the best. They're like the normal people. They're like everything's fine. We are actual functioning adults in a real relationship.
Yeah, that's true. What cracked me up was after they did that, they were outside, they were talking and stuff. Vinny comes like, "We're about to do shots."
Yeah, and John was like, "All right, fuck it, we'll do shots." Yeah, man, I can't get with like I get like being pissed off that someone's at your house or whatever, but like the way he came off so like weird about it, like I'm gonna kill like Vinny or whatever. I really thought it was kind of lame. It made me like him a ton less.
He's kind of one of those extreme pet owners.
Yeah, they were like, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's good that you love your pets, but why don't you fly home?
There are people who consider pets to be like their children.
I understand.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even fronting on that. I'm just like, whenever he's like, well, first of all, Vinny's not the guy you should be mad at. He's not the one you should be directing your anger at. And second of all, like, I mean, maybe I'm like Vinny fanboy now, but he was not the responsible party.
I wanted more of Vinny in this episode.
I thought Vinny was cool. I mean,
I liked it, but I wanted more.
He's got a beard now. How long does he have the beard? He's got it's like cropped tight. He's got like the nice groomed beard going on. I don't know.
He's the man.
I looked at his Twitter. He's like pimping hookahs now. It's pretty awesome. I don't know. What up, Vinny? Holla at your boys. Fuck TJ. Team Vinny. Hashtag Team Vinny.
So there was no there was a little bit of Summer Rae, and then they showed a little bit of what's her name?
Eva Marie.
Eva Marie.
I don't even remember seeing her. Yeah. My big lasting impression was that I liked TJ a hell of a lot less after this episode. And her and Natalia just fucking get a divorce. You guys are fucking miserable.
Yeah. God. Because really, there's like, if that's really true to like what's in their real life, and they don't like consider like, you're married, you know, you want to consider, you know, hey, this is our money. We deal with it together. You know, don't like, hey, I'm going to do this or whatever.
I mean, I'm just joking. I know that this is like like I know that they've shot and edited this in a way that they have these characters for these people for this show, but they come off really fucking bad every time they're on.
Yeah.
And if you had put a gun to my head and said, who do you think is going to come off the worst out of the Bellas, the Funkadactyls going in, it would not be Natalia and TJ, and they come off like the fucking worst ever.
I thought it would have been the Bellas.
They seem like joyless, like fucking.
Oh, we missed a little part with I guess it's the beginning of their fight. Then Natalia leaves because she has to go to a signing, though. But there's not much to miss there. You know, just a lot of people, you know, taking pictures and saying that she's going to, you know, be the next Divas champion.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it for this week. Hashtag Team Vinny. Hashtag TJ's dead to us.
Seriously, hashtag that shit.
Girl, bye.
So there you go. Appreciate it, guys. Good job. Was there anything to look forward to next week, or since y'all said girl bye, is that pretty much it?
Oh, that's it. You tune in next week.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making.
That's our sign off. We don't.
Okay. No going back from there. Okay, just making sure.
There's no turning back.
Time to go into some hot topics for you guys. This week's Top Rope Tuesday, Clutch City Productions winner. All you had to do was spread some lie about someone who watches a TV show. It's going to Alan Garcia. So congratulations, Alan.
All right,
You're
Alan.
the winner of this week's Top Rope Tuesday Clutch City Productions podcast prize pack. So we'll be getting in contact with you.
We got to see that dick.
So we'll be getting in touch with you to get your information, and so we can send you out the prize pack. So congratulations on that. Doug, I believe this is your week to pick one.
Okay, to enter, I guess once we have all the entries, I keep knocking my mic over this week. Once we have all the entries, I guess we could do the randomizer like we always do. But this week, why don't you, if you don't know Workaholics, you need to go at least watch a clip. And then I want you guys to write in and tell us which member of the podcast is which member of Workaholics. Tyler's Durs. No, you're Durs.
Look, just because
you're Blake and you're Durs.
I have this amazing swimmer's body, so you know, girls beyond that. I'm just saying.
Hey, you could be president one day.
You're Adam DeMamp.
You know, thank you.
Do you think I'm Adam? I think you're Durs. I'm 50-50 on you.
I figure you would have the hair for Durs.
Do I have the hair for Durs?
You could. If you parted
I could be
if you
president.
parted it,
If I worked hard, I could be president.
yeah, you wouldn't have to work hard, but you could do it. You're gonna see the dirt.
What's the lowest amount
Answer
of
my
money
la-
you would suck a dick for?
If I'm being honest with myself, like $500.
So this week's challenge. Could you repeat it one more time?
Write in if you already know Workaholics, great. Just tell us which member of the podcast you think is which member of Workaholics. Who do you think corresponds with who? If you don't know Workaholics, go Google it, watch a clip, figure it out.
Wikipedia it. And watch the clip.
And just write in and let us know. And I guess we'll do the randomizer and see, huh?
All right.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. So there you go. For those of you who are planning to watch Extreme Rules on either AT&T, Uverse, DirecTV, or Dish, you will not be able to watch it. They are not carrying it. So just switch to the network. It's cheaper and it's easier. So there you go. Also, a little bit of side note. While y'all were doing the Total Divas segment, I was checking in some of the spoilers for SmackDown. They're going to have a contract signing for Hornswoggle and El Torito. So that'll be...
What's the contract? Just
the match, I guess. But yeah. So if you're into this feud, SmackDown's going to be worth tuning into, at least for that. So yeah. So there you go. Any other hot topics that you guys are aware of?
I don't know.
I know Comic Palooza's coming up in about a month, and they've announced that Booker T's Reality of Wrestling is going to be out there putting on a show. They're also going to be bringing in Hurricane Helm, so that's going to be pretty cool.
They're doing like a full-on show?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be an hour. Okay. An hour's worth, and they're
sort
gonna
of like NWA.
Yeah,
there.
and
are they also going to run now?
I believe so.
Wow, so we might get
interesting.
Them, NWA, Houston,
Doomsday
and maybe
will not be there.
Doomsday will not be there.
No, sadly, but Doomsday.
How do you know? You asked Tex?
No, I heard through a different source.
Who's your source?
I'm not going to disclose that at this time.
Ah, you fucker.
But yeah, so but Doomsday
did they get pushed out?
I think no.
Did Tex say he didn't want to do it, or they told Tex he wasn't doing it?
I think the last time I talked to him, he said they didn't want to do it. Like they like doing it, but it's just too much to organize for 3 straight days.
Mm-hmm.
So to get the guys to come in and do all that, it's too organized. Plus, it's hard to tell a story when you're only doing a 30-minute show or something like that. I mean, they could do it.
Story, that's the shoot, brother. That's the real stuff.
Yeah, but Doomsday has announced that they are going to be having a show. I believe it was in June.
I don't think they announced that. I think he told us that in confidence.
No, they announced it.
Oh.
They've sent out the.
Hey, well, fuck you. I thought we were special.
They've sent out the invitations on Facebook to join it.
I didn't get one.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, guess what? Sushan's
I got
going.
one.
Okay.
Sushan's going. I saw it on
Yeah.
Facebook. He said he's going.
I was making sure that y'all got one, and I was like, I wonder if Noah got one. He got one, and so I was like, well,
what is Noah's? If Noah's like, when Noah replies to events, it's like yes, no, maybe, and then like Noah's maybe in parentheses says like, I don't know, I'm saving for this thing.
I'm saving for Dallas. Okay, I got to meet the whole crew of Firefly. So but yeah, so
he's not going to Palooza, but
no, he's got to save money for all of his autographs and everything.
Yeah, but I think that's the weekend before Palooza.
Ooh. And also, there's going to be a show in Galveston, Coastal Mania or something like that.
Yeah.
They're going to be having a lot of guests, especially thanks to our buddies from Clutch City Productions. So maybe we'll get to talk to some of those guys down the road. It'd be pretty cool. Go and meet them.
Texas Lone Star is available for pictures and for autographs for that show as well.
All right, good stuff. So yeah.
For Coastal Man?
For which show?
Coastal Mania. Texas Lone Star is going to have a booth for autographs and.
That's awesome.
I mean, he's going to be right next to National Hall. He's practically like the long lost member of the Wolfpack anyway.
Yeah.
So he'll be there too.
So yeah.
He told me.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to disclose that yet.
All right. Well, you know what that calls for.
WNS podcast exclusive.
So really cool stuff. And that brings us into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions and our answers. First question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son.
We got to drop it low.
We got to see it. No, that doesn't work.
We gotta see that dick.
So anyways, Thomas says, hey guys, thanks for all the work you're doing. I'm quickly approaching the most important exams of my life to see whether I go to university or not. And amongst the sea of essays and revision, I take great solace in my weekly podcast episodes. So thanks for all that you do. Now, with that being said,
I thought his like life-changing tests were paternity tests.
that'll come later. Now, with that being said,
Lawson's spreading that seed.
he's dropping the pounds and adding the baby weight. So, now with that being said, I was informed last week by a certain Texan radio show host who shall remain unnamed that just like The Undertaker, my streak of asking questions ended last week with not asking a question to you guys. So this week I'm asking not one, not two, not four, but 3 questions. So, question number 1. What film have you seen that you thought would be awful, but you really enjoyed? For me, it would be Frozen, which I thought was going to be another Disney schlock, but this is a really fun film. So, fun film that you thought was going to be terrible.
Oh, man.
There was one a while back I saw in movie theaters. Oh, shit, I'm blanking.
Who was in it? What happened?
This is a tough question. I don't know.
It is a good question because normally I don't go see.
I'm pretty well researched.
Unless it's, I don't.
I know if I want to see it or not.
Exactly. So it's. Oh, there was one that I went and saw a long time ago, and I was like, you stop at the vending machines, and they have the little things that you get, like the little action figures and stuff, and chains or whatever. So I got one of those, and I was like, hey, you want to see the most entertaining part about this film? And I threw it at the screen. So.
Was it a sticky thing? Like one of those, like...
No, it was just a little action figure, but I think it was like the Glass House or something like that. It was some stupid.
Oh, is that the one where the parents die and then like they get adopted by the freaky psycho killer friend of the fam?
No.
Oh.
The film name might have been The Glass House, but I don't remember what it was. But it was this lady who was supposed to be babysitting or something. And some stalker killer is trying to get her, and it was so stupid.
I feel like I could name instances of being let down, but I feel like I'm rarely pleasantly surprised because I generally know if I want to see it or not.
I think one was it The Man with the Iron Fist that we all went and saw?
I knew I wanted to see that. Though.
Well, I went in there thinking this is going to be like
big dumb fun,
just a terrible, terrible movie.
Big dumb fun,
but
big
then
dumb fun.
it was big dumb fun. So I enjoyed that one.
I can't think of any.
I'll have to mull it over.
Yeah.
Read me the question 8 or whatever.
Question number 2. With pay-per-views often being designed around match types now, if you could design a one-of-a-kind match type, what would it be?
Make up a match?
Yeah.
I feel like
Make up your own
Lawson's
stipulation.
I think Lawson's like working on a streak for us of not being able to answer his question. I don't know that that's even possible. Can you make up a new match type?
They've pretty much done just about everything. I mean, what is there to do? That's a tough one.
What's question number 3? Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to add on to a cage match. You put a ring. Okay, you have the cage, and you put the cage on top of the ring, and you put another ring on top of the cage. When you climb up there, and you fight on the ring on top there. I don't know.
We don't know either. What are you talking about? It's like a ring
had
sandwich.
The triple cage before.
Triple tier.
I'm talking about like with the ring on top of a cage.
So cage, or Hell in a Cell, essentially. Ring on top of the Hell in a Cell, inside of a cage, right?
Okay.
So you got your ring.
You get your ring.
You got the Hell in a Cell surrounding it, so no one can get in or out. But somehow they have to get out and go up into another one.
Yeah.
What would you even call that?
I don't know.
The crown? An extreme crown match?
I would call it. There's a ring on top of this fucking cage.
I don't know if it would be able to. I don't know if the cage, the Hell in a Cell cage, would be able to support something like that.
Heavy duty cage.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
That thing would be
sorry, Thomas.
Heavy. Doug, anything?
Whatever Tyler said, I second.
Yes. Okay.
It's a terrible idea, but I'm outvoted on that one. So, question number 3. Recently, copies of the infamous E.T. game for the Atari 2600 were found in a New Mexico desert, proving the urban legend about dumping unsold copies to be true. So I'll ask, what is...
I never doubted it wasn't true, though.
Yeah, but what is the worst video game you've ever played? No, Luca, no.
I know that there have been some real shit like Atari games that I played over the years that I just like I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing because the graphics are so bad you couldn't even like figure out like what the deal was.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a fair answer though.
Barbie game for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Really? Is that a shoot?
No, I played the demo. I didn't like it.
Is it the worst game you ever played? Probably not. That's tough
Probably
to say.
not. I don't know. I don't know about the worst. I didn't like that TNA game.
Oh, that TNA game did suck.
And AAA.
AAA game kind of sucked too. Those are crappy wrestling games.
I never played those.
The X-Men game for the NES was pretty bad.
I'm gonna go. Not the. Well, okay. Either it was a really bad game, or I was just really poor at playing it. I'm gonna go with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Game Gear. Could never get past the first boss. I don't know what you had to do. You're on this slope, and there's like a lobster thing at the bottom, and there's a bouncing ball coming down, and if it hits you, you die. And I could never get past it, and you have to like time it just right. But since you're on a slope, walking up, it slows you down, and you can't jump over it. And it was, I couldn't do it. It was just, it was terrible.
I pretty much hate all racing games too. I'm always like, fuck racing games.
Yeah.
Fuck car games, fuck racing games. I don't like any of that.
And there are a lot of fighting games that I'm not good at. Like, I remember one day I went and...
I'm not good at them, but there's a lot that I'm not good at, but I love pretty much all fighting games.
It's like I went and bought Street Fighter 4, and I brought it back that same day. I came and played it, and I was... Yeah, and it's just that I'm not good at those kind of games.
If you get into like training mode tutorials, like they'll teach you all the combos, or they'll teach you a lot of basic.
They're coming out with a newer version of another version of Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
with more characters and
I
more
thought
stages.
Super Street Fighter 4 or whatever is already out, isn't it?
There's gonna be
another one.
There's gonna be another one. There was an arcade one with
Turbo.
Now there's gonna be another. I don't know, more characters and
just stupid. So yeah. So there you go. So as far as movies for me, it would be the Man with the Iron Fists.
So it's supposed to be a movie that was a letdown or as a pleasant surprise.
A pleasant surprise. Like you got dragged into a movie and it was just like, oh, this is gonna suck. And then you
if I'm dragged in, I'm usually like fucking pissed off. It's usually not like a.
Oh, okay.
My past girlfriends always drag me to like horror movies because I don't like horror movies. Those are always terrible experiences for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been pleasantly surprised. I'm sure that I have.
Or okay, how about one where you walked out going, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah.
Oh, pleasantly surprised?
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
With Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis. I didn't know. A lot of people don't like that movie, but I ended up really enjoying it. And I went in with a group of friends, and we didn't know the backstory. We just kind of like saw a trailer that was pretty. I don't want to say elusive, but pretty much like didn't like set up what the story was really about so much. And I didn't know that it was so tied to like comics and like superpowers. And I ended up really enjoying it. Yeah, pleasant surprise. I'm gonna go with Unbreakable. I don't know who made it, but it's got Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis. Unbreakable.
All right.
I answered the question.
There you go. Anything, Tyler?
Don't have anything.
All right.
Nothing that comes to mind.
Thomas does say, P.S. Happy birthday, Doug. Hope you had an awesome time.
Hey, thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Drop that ass.
Drop that ass.
Happy birthday.
Drop it low.
We got to see that ass.
Next question coming to us from Seth Rickson saying, while I had mentioned that I felt like that Khali would be a perfect fit for a fourth member of the Shield, after watching Raw this week, I feel that I misjudged his optimal spot on the roster. Since Batista is going to be leaving the WWE soon to promote Guardians of the Galaxy, how would you guys feel about Khali taking his place on in Evolution? Do you feel that Khali could fill those skinny jeans and reignite Evolution?
Yes, book events.
Do it.
Doesn't matter what I say, I'm outvoted. So
They
there
can
you
make
go.
a big pair of skinny jeans.
You can say your opinion, you'll just be wrong.
Okay. But what if I said it's a great idea? Would I be wrong?
Probably. Then we'll see the error in our own ways and change it.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna say that's a terrible idea.
Unbreakable was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
What a twist!
Unbreakable Michael Elgin.
So thank you for the question, I guess. So
Hear the mullet.
Next question coming to us from Ben, our WNS Ben, our buddy, saying, so what's Tyler's fax number?
I'm not gonna tell you. Well, okay. Well, I don't fucking know. It's on my card, but I don't.
You have a card and you don't even know.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
1-900 butthole.
So thank you for the question, Ben. Next question coming to us from Mr. LPH is good from YouTube, saying good episode.
That's gotta spell something, right?
No question mark.
Mr. Luff is good. Mr. Luff is good. Saying good episode, guys. I got one question for you. Do you think that
Mr.
WWE?
LPH is good?
That's what I said. Mr. LPH is good.
Oh, fuck.
So I got one question for you. Do you think that the WWE could do a Randy Orton, John Cena, and Batista feud? And how would that play out? And yes, more Legends House.
No, I don't think that they could run that and get away with it because I think the fans would shit all over it.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. There's no one they would cheer for. So unless you turn Cena heel, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Fuck that. I hope Cena turns heel and he joins the Wyatt family and he supersedes Bray Wyatt and he becomes the leader of the Wyatts just so everyone can be like, get that heel turn they want and be like, this fucking sucks at Run Bray Wyatt.
So there you go.
So if Cena turns heel, I want him to lead the Wyatt family.
Leader of the pack. So thank you for the question. Next one coming to us from Ben Fold saying,
Drowning slowly off the coast.
And I'm heading nowhere.
Hey guys, just wanted to say thanks for reading out my feedback. You guys are awesome, and so is this episode, like all of them. Do you think more reality shows like Total Divas and Legends House will be made, and if so, what would they be? Anyways, have a good show as always, and sadly, I am not the singer Ben Folds, but thanks for the joke anyway, Doug. Thanks, guys, and can't wait till the next episode. So thanks for listening, and sorry I didn't do the
He's
joke.
rocking the suburbs.
Yeah.
Just like Michael Jackson did. He's rocking the suburbs.
So
except that he was talented.
Do you think more reality shows are on the way?
Yes, I do think more shows like Total Divas and Legends House are on the way because they are cheap to make and they are needing to fill programming and they're cheap to make. They do it in-house. So I do think it's on the way. As far as what, I don't know. I mean, more stuff along those lines. I mean,
how about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's inevitable. It's going to end up being like...
Seeing the success of Total Divas.
It's going to end up being like MTV where they just stop showing wrestling and it's all only reality shows.
And then people can be like, WWE used to be good when they showed wrestling.
Yeah, and then they're going to be like, we need WWE 2 or something. And yeah, whatever.
They showed WWE superstars making music videos.
Yeah.
WWE Trace.
Trace.
All Lucha, all the time.
MTV, WWE Network hits. Like MTV hits.
God. So next question coming to us from Jacob saying, hey guys, great shows. I'm also an OG listener since 2011.
What?
But this is the first time I'm commenting, even though the podcasts are getting quite lengthy. Hashtag B plus penis.
That's so weird.
They are still entertaining as hell and fly right by. It also helps that I agree with most of what you all say. If you guys could fix any wrestling angle from the past, which one would it be and how would you fix it? Mr. Fix It.
Fudgesicles.
Wrestling angles of past.
Well, what's the question?
If you could fix any wrestling angle from the past, what would it be and how would you fix it? Two come to mind for me. One would be the Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn, and he said this numerous times on his DVDs, progressing his career. He would have never shaken McMahon's hand and hugged him and all that whenever he did the heel turn at WrestleMania. He would have just turned heel, and that would have been it. He felt like siding with McMahon, only ruined his heel turn. The other thing I would probably change would be when Punk won the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank, and he came back like 2 weeks later. Like, I would have held off on that, but they decided to not do it. I guess they were worried about ratings or something like that and brought him back sooner. But they could have done a lot better stuff with that, and I think we even talked about that, like, bringing a camera crew to a local gymnasium and have him wrestle a match there or something like that. Just anything, really.
I would make the Nexus more dominant.
Yeah. The new Nexus or the original Nexus?
Original.
The original angle was super hot that 1 week, and they fucked it up like immediately.
One night. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if it was that one night because, they also did some hot stuff at the was it FCW? They brought them to FCW, or they did some stuff with they got, because they brought some of their teachers in or whatever for FCW, and they.
My recollection, my memory of it is that they fucked it up after the first night was super awesome, and they fucked it up immediately. But I don't remember how they fucked it up.
Yeah, they just didn't keep the push on them. Like, I know they destroyed like McMahon, and they destroyed a lot of other like wrestlers and stuff, but it fell flat so fast, and then they started just getting rid of people. Like they got out Tarver, they cut out Darren Young and all that.
Michael Tarver, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very nice.
Give Mike Adamle more of a chance.
No, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Well, that's my response to your, change. I would not do that. Would you guys change the outcome of WrestleMania 30 with Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker?
I don't have a problem with the finish. I have the problem with the guy. Like, I think that there's someone could have capitalized.
Like if they would have done it at 31 with someone else.
They could have done it at 30 with someone else.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, I get that sounds like what we're hearing like weeks later is that they changed it just less than a week before they changed the finish. So I don't know. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. Would I change it if I would change the finish.
Okay. Or would you change the opponent altogether?
Yeah, I mean, I would change the opponent.
All right.
I mean, cool. Even if he didn't, I would have let him ride out over Brock.
Yeah.
Because even if this was his last opponent, I would have still let him ride out high over Brock, because I don't think that Brock's as over as he's going to be. I don't think he's got much to gain off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that giving the streak to Brock, I don't think they're going to do enough to capitalize off of Brock having the streak.
Yeah. I mean, where has he been since then?
Yeah, and you can sell streak DVDs for the rest of your fucking company's life. I think it's a better business decision. I think there's someone else would have been
the Ultimate Streak Edition,
featuring
all 22 matches and The Undertaker.
Someone else could have capitalized off it more. God. And I say that as a Brock Lesnar fan. I think he's been fucking awesome the whole time he's been there.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks for the question. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Next question coming to us from Ben saying, not WNS Ben, but a different Ben, saying, hey guys, great show this week. It was the first one other than the WrestleMania review show that I've been able to listen to in a long time due to my new promotion at work.
Don't break my heart, man. Say you'll love me again.
But congratulations on the promotion. But Ben does have a quick question. What are your overall thoughts on Alexander Rusev? Do you think he has potential, or is he one of Triple H's and Vince's flavor of the month? Keep up the great work, guys.
I do think he has potential. I like what limited amount I've seen. I think he needs a different finisher.
That limited amount being Lana.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Whatever.
Nope.
Then.
I think he needs a new finisher though.
Yeah. What would you go with? What would you recommend?
Something high impact and not just
bear hug.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I like how, like when he comes out in the music and stuff like that, and I like how Lana controls him though. Mm-hmm. And I do want to see more of him, but I don't know, there's a part I just don't like. I don't know, I guess it's
emotionless.
No, it's not that. But I guess I want to see more of him in the ring.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone has potential. It's just a matter of what will they do with him once this, monster squashing ends. Like, is he going to become another comedy shtick like they did with Vladimir Kozlov? Like, where are they going to go with it? So that's the biggest problem, is keeping the momentum. So, but thank you for the question. Next question coming to us from Hugh, saying, question for the team. With all the new talent coming in, if you guys had to cut 5 guys from the active roster, who would it be? That's toughy.
I think it's a cop-out to say, like, JTG and Zack Ryder. So I'm being honest. I think it's a cop-out to say that these guys aren't being used. I think it's like, it's a cop-out. Don't pick them. Pick guys who've, well, he said active. Let's define active roster members.
Been used within the last 6 months.
If they've been on TV at Mania or since, like if they're in the Battle Royal, they count. They're up, right?
Well, that includes Zack Ryder and Yoshitatsu. And...
All right, let's say if they've been on TV, I don't know. You kind of have to define it, right? Because I think.
Yeah, and there are some people who have been going back to NXT,
right,
like Brodus Clay.
I guess just pick whoever you want, but I personally think it's a cop out to pick like a JTG or something.
Right, but I don't know. They're finding different stuff for other people. Like where's Justin? What's Justin Gabriel been doing? What is
RVD? I cut RVD. He's old. He's stale. He hasn't changed anything about his gimmick, his moveset, his character, his look in years and years and years. He's gone.
What would that portray into the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing?
I sure as fuck don't think it's fixed.
I mean, because he still gets over with the crowd, In
a limited sense. I mean, you parade him out after he's been gone for months. I mean, he gets a nostalgia pop, and I don't think anyone's been super high on his matches with Cesaro, and I don't know. It's my list, bro. I'm cutting RVD.
Okay,
he's gone.
Hey, I'm just
RVD. No.
All right.
No,
I'm just making sure.
No, RVD's gone.
This is a man's life you're tampering with here.
RVD does not seem like an extravagant liver. I think he's saved his liver. I don't think he's lived extravagantly. I think he saved his money. He's like a punker.
He smoked that money.
Yeah. Well, that's all he spends his money on is pot. So
and new tights.
And I know he's starting a comic shop or something. So he's definitely not making any money off of that.
Outlaws.
They're more backstage now. But I get what you're saying.
I cut RVD. I think you either cut Kane or Big Show. I think they effectively fill the same spot. They're a monster when you want them to be. They're a joke when you want them to be.
I pick Kane.
And you plug and play whenever you want. So I think you either pick Big Show or Kane for that spot.
Okay.
Because, do you feel like they effectively serve the same role?
Yeah. Same with Khali.
Sort of redundant. Well, Khali's a cop-out. And don't question Khali. if you want to cut Khali, that's cool. I just think it's a cop out. I wouldn't. I'm gonna pick guys who actually is actually like,
What about someone like Mysterio, who's been injured lately, came back for like 2 weeks, got injured again?
Yeah, I don't qualify as someone's been on TV. Right? He was at he's in the 30 man, right?
Yeah,
hasn't been on TV since. Before that, he hadn't been on TV really either.
Because he was coming back from an injury.
Yeah, he could be gone, but I think he's sort of like I think he's a perfectly good pick to cut, but not because I don't like him. By the way, I love the guy, but
it's just
I think it's kind of a cop out.
You have to start thinking about his safety and all that.
He's treated just like another schlub on the roster, so he's not getting anything out of it. So I don't see why they would keep him. He's not my pick. I'm going with RVD is one of my guys. Would you cut Kane or Big Show? I need
Kane.
Kane. All right, I'll cut
Nothing
RVD.
Against him, but...
Yeah, his only redeeming qualities to me is his Team Hell No stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting RVD. I'm cutting Kane. I'm gonna cut Kofi Kingston. I know that Kofi Kingston is like someone who's over with the crowd, but basically, he's over with a certain section of the crowd.
What about Barrett?
I think there's an upside to Barrett. It's not something that I like, but I think there is an upside to him. I think Kofi has devolved into the guy who does the
spot fest,
the spot in the Rumble match or the Battle Royal, and he has I don't see any upward mobility left in the guy.
What about
he's an athletic guy, but I don't particularly care for his style, and I haven't seen him make any momentum.
Any Divas?
Oksana. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. That almost feels cheap.
We need a whole new list for that.
Yeah.
Go into your top 10 or something.
I just don't see Kofi as ever moving up in the card, and I feel like they got other guys who can. I mean, Kofi's calling card is that one spot every Royal Rumble or Battle Royal.
How's he going to get back to the ring?
That's it, though. I mean,
yep. What's he going to do with the ladder?
Yeah, I will cut Kofi, Kane, RVD, Curtis Axel. I just don't see anything in him. I mean, there are guys who I don't have a lot of love for, like your Codys or your Sandals, but I at least see like them as like upper mid card guys. I don't see them as main eventers, but I see like some use for them in the mid card. I don't see a lot for Curtis Axel, other than being the dumb jock in the thing we were talking about last week. But so I'll cut Curtis Axel, Kofi, RVD, Kane. Who's a fifth? You guys aren't even helping me. God damn it!
Hey, I throw things out there.
I throw out Mysterio.
So you're cutting Khali and Mysterio? Is that your guys?
Those would be two, yeah. I would think.
I know.
Paulus and
I bet there are people like yelling in their like earbuds right now.
What about Dolph?
About Kofi?
Dolph Ziggler.
Nah, I think there's an upside to Dolph. I mean, there are ways.
He's
to
over
use
with
him.
the crowd really well.
I mean, he has no momentum whatsoever, but he's not just the. He's not. I mean, he's not just the Battle Royal spot guy. I mean, that's all Kofi is.
He's the bump guy.
Oh man.
Shit.
I kind of feel like we should try and like get one main eventer and be like one guy should be like
Orton.
He's pretty still, but
I just think he's done just about all that he's going to be able to do.
I don't see any. There's no range left in his character. He does what he does, right?
Yeah.
But I see Orton as like a gatekeeper. I can see him as like an upper mid card heel. I think he has value there, right? Not in the main event scene, but as a stepping stone to the main event scene.
To get to this platform, you have to go through me because he has credibility. You know,
I think he has value.
He didn't work with Kofi.
I think he has value there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We could just say we named a bunch of people and give up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. Take it for what you
right.
will. So, but thank you for the question. Next question coming to us from Alan, our podcast winner, prize pack winner of this week, saying, "Hey guys, great episode. Actually, I have a question this time around. If they do a second season of Legends House, who would you like to see on there? Keep up the great work."
I can make. Okay, mine would be the super trash. It's already trash TV, but it's like very. It's very like gentle trash TV.
Yeah.
Like I would have like the Jerry Springer version of trash TV because I'm gonna make some fucking money on this. Okay, first off, how the fuck is Ric Flair not in the Legends House? Because he's Ric fucking Flair. Period. In the story, not much else to say. Sheiky baby, how the fuck is he not in Legends House? Because
I thought he was in it.
Didn't they make it seem like he was gonna be?
Yeah.
Maybe he like shows up mid-season, right?
Maybe.
Flair, Sheiky baby, Michael P.S. Hayes because he's fucking Michael P.S. Hayes.
One of the greatest talkers of all time, baby, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes is definitely on there because I love Dusty Rhodes and I'll watch anything he does. He can talk. So Flair, Sheiky baby, P.S. Hayes. I said Dusty, right? Yeah, Dusty. That's 4. They're 8, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
I'm gonna say there should be some women on the show, just because I think it fits like the real world type format, and just because for diversity there should be women on the show, right? So I will say, I'll say Missy Hyatt, and I will say Sunny. You liking the vibe of my show, right? You liking that? What's that, 6? But all this bad behavior is going on, right?
Yes.
So you definitely need someone like $1 Million Man who's like a born again Christian to be
oh my god,
to be offended by everything else that's happening. So I got Flair because he's Flair, Sheiky baby because he's Sheiky baby, P.S. Hayes because he's Michael P.S. fucking Hayes, Dusty Rhodes because he's the fucking American Dream baby. I got Timmy Lindsay, well Sonny. I got Missy Hyatt. That's 7. Is that 7? 6. Oh, $1 Million Man. 7. I need one. I need one more guy.
Have to have
7.
That's a good fucking cast, right? Come on.
Yeah.
You got all your fucking
I'd
people
watch.
behaving badly, and then you got $1 Million Man to be like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, right?
Are you guys out of your minds?
Fuck yeah, I'll say that's my 7.
All right.
I can't keep it.
That's a good crowd. I'd watch that. Anyone you'd add to it, Tyler?
I mean, I don't know. What about throwing JR?
JR? Okay. You got to have that one announcer guy there. Good God Almighty, he broke the. So yeah, thank you for the question, Alan. Final question tonight coming to us from Hugh. Different Hugh, yes, different spelling too. Great show. I've listened since July of 2012. Won a shirt from you guys way back, so thanks for that. Also, if you guys had to pick any member of the Hounds of Justice, meaning the Shield, to win the WWE title from Bryan at a later date, who would you choose? Great show. Long may it continue. Thanks for the shirt. The shirt.
I don't know. I like all the guys.
Yeah.
I think there's
you could pick really
right.
anyone, and it'd be a solid one. It would be a good matchup.
Right.
And two, all three have the potential.
I don't really see a downside in the team so far. I mean, Roman is still really green, and he's not okay. That's an exaggeration. He's not still really green. He's still kind of green, and he's still being pretty protected.
Mm-hmm.
But
even like this week's promo.
Yeah, but there's still a big upside to him.
Yeah.
I think you can fucking pick any of those guys, and it'll be all right.
I mean, you can do names out of a hat. So, but is there anyone in particular?
I'll say Ambrose because I see him working as the best heel, and I still see Bryan's best spot as a fiery underdog babyface.
Yeah.
So I think
and the mic work would be really good too between them. So yeah, so there you go. So thank you for the questions. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video, or Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast. Subscribe and leave us a comment if you enjoy the show. We certainly appreciate that.
Check us out on Beyond Pod, Player.fm, and Stitcher. Search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
The main site's on Twitter at WN Source. We're at WNS Podcast. Daniel at WNS_Daniel, Tyler _Aber.
There you go. So another long show for you guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Happy birthday, Doug.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the... if you're a listener and you send some wishes my way, I appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you very much.
Very cool. So so there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm fucking Doug, motherfucker.
We'll catch you all next week. We'll catch you all next week.